Hello there. Well, I'm back here at Sotheby's to tell you about some of the highlights of the Old Master Evening Auction, which takes place on the 7th of December. They include exceptional works from the collection of the late Juan Manuel Grasset, who had a terrific eye for Dutch still life painting of the Golden Age, but also collected other masterpieces besides. I'm going to start with a work whose history can be directly traced from the very moment it was commissioned by Henry Grey, 1st Duke of Kent, back in the late 1730s, right up to the present day. It's arguably the crown jewel of the Grasset collection. Do please join me as I explore the painting with Sotheby's Alex Bell. So, Alex, thank you for joining me. Venice, the Grand Canal, looking northwest by Canaletto. It's a wonderfully fresh picture.
It's absolutely fantastic. The condition is superb, but it's also painted at this very important moment, I think, in Canaletto's career. It's painted at the end of the 1730s, the decade in which his style is, to our eyes now, most characteristic. It's one of the most exciting Canalettos we've ever handled here.
It's got a kind of grandeur about it, this panoramic, wide-angle view that makes you almost breathe in that sweet air of the Adriatic. And the sky is absolutely to die for, but it's also full of these wonderful little details. I love the blokes on the roof of the Palazzo Pesaro.
Well, I mean, that's what Canaletto was all about. He could not only capture the fabric of all the buildings and the way the light plays against them, but you're right, the gondoliers, the people moving around on the water, and those little incidental details, the washing at the windows, the curtains billowing in the wind. And as you say, all under this absolutely fabulous sky, which we often think, I think, today of Canaletto as a very precise painter. But when you look at a detail of that sky, you would think of someone altogether different. It's incredibly free.
And I find it very interesting that it's almost unique in his work, in that there are no other versions of that view.
It is unusual, you're right. This painting was selected by him to be in the second edition of the series of prints that were made of Views in Venice. And interestingly enough, the first edition, printed in 1735, were a dozen pictures of Views of Venice and a couple of festivals, all of which came from Consul Smith's own collection. He was the man who commissioned Canaletto to paint so many of his great pictures. By the time of the second edition in 1742, those pictures were all from collections of English aristocrats who'd used Consul Smith to get Canaletto to paint pictures for them. Consul
Smith was one of the most important figures in Canaletto's life. He was an impresario, invented his market, made his name.
No, brand Canaletto, I think, owes an awful lot to Consul Smith.
So as we move from Canaletto to, as it were, the Dutch and Flemish heartland of the collection, you've chosen some particular landscapes that you'd like us to look at.
I have, and I wanted to lead off with the wonderful landscape by Jan Bruegel the Elder, painted in 1619, which is a fantastic painting showing lots and lots of people gathered by a village on a riverbank, probably on the Scheldt River in Flanders, going about their business. It's probably imaginary, but that's almost certainly where the idea would have come from. And of course, what's wonderful about this, as with most of his pictures of this type, is it's painted on a copper support, and his pictures almost shimmer with this brilliance of the meticulousness with which they're painted.
Yes, it's almost as if they are backlit, or it's almost as if they're slides. They've got this light that seems to come from within.
I know what you mean. Also, being Flemish, they tend to be more colourful than pictures by their Dutch contemporaries.
You feel when you look at these pictures that, you know, all life has gone down to that riverbank. Everything's going to happen down there. People are going to go. They're going to go and buy fish. They're going to trade their vegetables. It's almost like the fair of life. I can't help wondering if there's a little element of propaganda about it, because if one reads one's history right, you know, at this point in history, actually, Holland and the Dutch Republic are on the way up, and Flanders is very much on the way down. Yep. The Scheldt River itself is actually being dammed up and blockaded by the Dutch to pinch the trade of Antwerp.
But Bruegel doesn't want you to know that. He wants to show you that they're doing just fine. These pictures, of course, were hugely popular, not just in the Low Countries, but beyond.
Absolutely. No, it's a wonderful example. And as you say, it's not from the same, as it were, art historical box as the Canaletto, but you can see why the same eye might have been drawn to each picture.
Exactly.
Well, talking of paintings to enchant the eye and keep you looking for a long time, there's a wonderful painting by Avercamp that you also have in the sale from the same collection.
From the same collection. He painted a little bit later. This is a picture probably of the 1660s, and painted by Baron Avercamp, who was the nephew of perhaps the more famous Hendrik Avercamp, painting in Kampen in Holland to the northeast of Amsterdam. And here you have an absolutely fantastic view of life on the ice. I mean, it's the end of the Little Ice Age, and you see people going about all sorts of pastimes in the cold, from golf, which is a sort of early form of ice hockey, to people on little sleds, people being taken around by horse-drawn sleds and so on. It's all of life is there.
I remember being taken by my mum to the National Gallery and looking at Hendrik Avercamp's beautiful little round picture, ice scene.
Yeah.
And he's really the founder, I think, or the artist who won...
Totally.
The founder of his own dynasty, but also the founder of the genre. And I always remember looking at it and thinking it's like looking at creatures under a microscope in a drop of water.
I know what you mean. I mean, of course, with him, you're looking down a lot more on what's happening. He's an artist from an earlier generation. And, of course, observing the world in a different way. I mean, Hendrik, his uncle was mute, was probably also deaf.
Yeah.
Barent almost certainly trained with him, though, which is why his pictures have a high degree of similarity.
Yeah. And there's a sort of comic element, and I suppose a kind of moral message about these ice scenes. If we're Dutch, no matter how well we're doing, we still have to remember that life is essentially slippery, and those who go fast can also fall.
Always fall in the end. I know, you're probably right.
So thank you very much, Alex. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Andrew.
The Grasset collection was above all known for its remarkable Dutch still life paintings. And here to talk to me about three of the pick of them is Georgina Hardy, who is head of the Old Master Evening Sale. Georgina, hi. Tell me about these three pictures.
We're starting from the very kind of birth of 17th century still life, and we end in the 1660s with a fantastic work by Davidsz de Heem, who was the apotheosis of that genre, and his influence stretched way into the 18th century.
So the Floris van Dyck, which is the earliest of the three, strikes me as a wonderful painting about essentially consumption. Consumption of cheese, consumption of fruit, possession of precious objects.
Absolutely. They were known as display pieces, so the clue is kind of in the title. It was to show off precious, rare objects, but they're always combined as well with quite familiar things. The thing about Floris van Dyck is that we only know of about 12 paintings that he painted, so he's incredibly rare, but really celebrated as the father of particularly Haarlem still lifes. That's where he was painting, and out of his tradition came Peter Claes and Willem Claes Heyde, who went on to paint very monochrome still lifes. But this picture is all about colour, and he's looking at them from an elevated viewpoint, so you can see everything to its best advantage.
I wonder if there isn't a kind of subtext in the juxtaposition of the humble, crumbly cheeses with the rather splendid pieces of porcelain and lemons and oranges. And I'm wondering if the painting isn't almost telling a kind of story about the Dutch, to the Dutch. You know, we started here in the humble land of cheese, and yet we've managed to, you know, we've got an empire now. We're trading with the East Indies, we're trading in the Mediterranean. There's a kind of boastfulness about the reach of the Dutch political state.
But at the same time, there is always this sort of undercurrent of modesty, and I think also a sort of admonition to viewers: don't get carried away with all these expensive, exciting things.
Don't forget your roots.
Absolutely.
Remember the cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. In chronological terms, the second picture by Osias Beert is not, strictly speaking, a Dutch still life painting, it's a Flemish still life painting.
Exactly. He was working in Antwerp, which was also a really strong centre for the birth of this genre. Jan Bruegel the Elder was working there, and I think you can see lots of parallels with his work. This is Beert's masterpiece. It's huge. It's not only the biggest in scale, but it's by far the most complex and sophisticated and ambitious of all his compositions. He pioneered what came to be known as the complex still life.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, I sometimes think the word masterpiece is overused, but in the case of this picture, what it originally means is a piece of painting designed to show mastery, and it certainly does that. 90 different kinds of flowers, each one plainly studied by the artist in controlled conditions, presumably in his studio, when you have fritillaries, tulips, anemones, carnations, all kinds of flowers that couldn't all have been in bloom at the same time.
Also because these flowers would have been so expensive at the time, I think there's a sort of irony in the fact that Davidsz painting might not have even cost as much as some of the actual blooms, but you've got them forever. They're now perennially in painted form.
Absolutely. Well, I think at the height of tulip mania, one tulip bulb, somebody paid 7 carriages, 3 houses, and a small fortune in beer for one tulip bulb,
it's unimaginable,
which then went down like that in value.
Yeah. The Heem is interesting because it's actually quite small, smaller than lots of his other works. So that compositional element is really key, actually, so that it is a successful design within such a small format. He's just really clever about it. You can see how he balances the different pinks and reds from the flowers, but also with the berries at the bottom of the composition. And then I think the most artful part of it is including these stalks of wheat, which almost create a kind of circular motion around the painting. So then that means your eye is taken from one detail to another endlessly.
It's wonderful, it's wonderful. I love those stalks of wheat. And I think he's one of the most brilliantly gifted painter of the red currant who ever existed. I mean, you can feel that you just want to eat those red currants.
Yeah, this painting is in amazing condition as well, which means that all those colours are really vibrant. You can really almost feel the glistening surface of the vase as well. It's got such a reflective surface, and we can see the window of his studio reflected in it. There's
a place in that sort of play of reflections and uprights that suggests the window where you almost wonder if part of that isn't the actual easel of the artist making an interruption. So I like it that Jan Davidsz Heem will always be hiding at the back of one of his greatest paintings. Well, there we have it. Floris van Dijk, Osias Beert, and last but definitely not least, Jan Davidsz Heem. Georgina, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Andrew.
Telling me about these wonderful pictures. Now, apart from the Grasset collection, the evening sale also contains some outstanding works of art created during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. So now I'm joined by Reto Bahnmettler of Sotheby's Zurich, who's a specialist in Russian paintings, to discuss Ivan Aiwazowski's showstopper of a painting, The Wrath of the Seas.
So I think the picture really screams Aiwazowski. It's a late mature work from 1886, and I think it really shows off Aiwazowski's talents at depicting water, the elements, the light, the sea, reflections, for which he was well known throughout Europe. He wasn't famous just in Russia, he was really the foremost seascape painter in Europe during his lifetime.
There's something tremendously theatrical about the painting. I have the feeling that here is an artist who knows his art history. You know, he's looked at Delacroix's Bark of Dante, he's looked at Géricault's terrifying Raft of the Medusa, he's looked at Turner's sea disaster paintings, and he's boiled it all together into his own formulation.
Yes, I mean, you can't look at Aiwazowski in isolation. He was born in Crimea on the Black Sea, and I think, well, that's obviously the first inspiration really for him. As a young man, he studied in St. Petersburg, where he was exposed to what was happening all over Europe, really.
There's a tremendous amount of detail in the picture. At first sight, it looks as though it's almost a grisaille, but when you get your eye in, you can see these little glimmerings of, is it dawn, is it sunset? You can't tell, just as you can't quite tell if they're going to survive, or are they going to be wrecked onto that great promontory that's just on that side of the picture with the waves washing down it. It seems like it's very calculated to make you have this sense of suspense.
Yes, I think it's full of drama, as you would hope for from a stormy picture by Aiwazowski. There's the lightning, there's the moon behind the clouds that light up the sea and the boat, and you do see some orange shimmer in the background as well, which might be probably is dawn.
I love the details, some of the details of the light, like the water that's just coming in these waves off the oars, and it's catching the light. And it's almost as if when you look at the painting, you're being drawn into that fearful rhythm of the ocean. And I was very interested to see, when I was reading up a little bit, that Dostoevsky, no less, said Aiwazowski is the only man who's ever painted the sea in such a way that you really feel the terror of it. And I thought, well, if Dostoevsky, the master of emotional turbulence, can say that, then that's quite a compliment. I certainly think it's a picture that takes you to the eye of the storm of the Romantic movement. A wonderful thing. Well, thank you so much for telling me all about it.
Thank you.
So, from a romantic seascape to an expressionist depiction of a house by the sea, I'm joined now by Claude Peening, specialist in European paintings, to discuss an extraordinary picture by the Norwegian artist Harald Sohlberg.
Yes, Harald Sohlberg did seek to explore landscape in a new and different way as an expression of inner feeling and how he felt and what was going through his mind.
It's full of mood, it's full of a sense of how thin that membrane is between what we see and the extent to which it reflects what we feel when we see. So you have this sense almost of foreboding, could it be? Or is it a sense of something about to happen?
It's very much a moodscape, I agree with you. It's at once literal, but also very much an expression of Sohlberg's mind at the time he was painting this in 1911. He lived quite a precarious life financially. He'd just come back to Norway from a grand tour of Europe. He was living peripatetically with different people. He lived in this small fishing village on the Oslo fjord with friends.
It reminds me a lot of a picture that we talked about not that long ago that was also offered for auction by Sotheby's, by the same artist, and which I think was painted just a couple of years before.
That's it. It was a picture from 1909 titled The Old Captain's House, which is in fact the subject of our picture. This particular work is titled Midnight. What you're looking at, or what it feels as though you're looking at, is a corner of the world seen through somebody's temperament at some kind of extreme moment of existence when everything does seem heightened. You don't quite know why. You can read into it what you will, and I think it's very mysterious in the same way that some of his contemporaries explored landscape like this, be it Edward Hopper, for instance, or even René Magritte.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned Hopper, because Hopper clearly influenced a lot of American cinematographers. And I've always wondered whether Sohlberg didn't have an effect on some Scandinavian filmmakers who seem to me to frame particular scenes with a kind of numinous import in a way that suggests to me they've been looking at Sohlberg's pictures.
Absolutely no question about that.
I have the feeling there's been quite a surge of interest in the art of Sohlberg and indeed some of his Scandinavian contemporaries over the last few years.
Most definitely. I think that his aesthetics very much speak to today's tastes and today's zeitgeist.
Thank you so much, Claude.
Thank you, Andrew. My pleasure.
Now it's time to turn to the personal collection of the late Sir Joseph Hotung, Part 2. The sale takes place on the same day as the evening Old Master auction, but at 4 p.m. In fact, the chairs on which we're sitting and the carpet upon which they're placed are part of that sale. But here with me to discuss two pictures from the Hotung collection is George Gordon, Sotheby's Old Master paintings. Now, I see that you've got something rather precious, I think, in your hands.
I'm holding in my hand a portrait, an intimate portrait by Van Dyck of his friend, Lucas van Uffel. Would you like to see it?
I would very much like to see it. What a fantastic thing. Full of immediacy. Lucas van Uffel was a well-known collector, wasn't he? And he was very close to Van Dyck. We believe it's probable that Van Dyck stayed with him in Venice. And do you know for what reason this was made, this rapid-fire oil sketch?
Well, Van Dyck painted two full-scale portraits in colour of Lucas van Uffel in Italy. Those we know, and one of them is one of the star paintings by Van Dyck in the Met in New York. But he painted a series of grisailles of artists that he knew and of people from his own milieu, collectors. in Antwerp and elsewhere, which were then turned into a set of engravings called the iconography.
Sort of notable people of Van Dyck's time remembered and beloved by Van Dyck.
Exactly, exactly. And all of the preparatory paintings are on small oak panels of this kind in grisaille, or sometimes with a little bit of brown in them. They would have been called branches.
It's a wonderful piece of character, piece of personality. He's from Flanders originally, but his family took him to Holland, where they expanded a trading business that then made him a multi-millionaire.
He went off to Italy to make money, and lots of it, and he put together a fantastic collection of what we would call masters of artists of previous centuries, which was auctioned in Amsterdam after his death in 1639. He came back to Amsterdam in 1630, and amongst them is, of course, one of the most famous portraits of all time.
Baldassare Castiglione.
Absolutely, Raphael of Baldassare Castiglione. And if we're not indulging a little overload here in terms of great artists, Rembrandt, of course, drew the Baldassare Castiglione when he attended the auction.
There's an apocryphal story that I've heard that Rembrandt actually was one of the underbidders on this man's favourite painting. So he's a man absolutely at the epicenter of the art world of the 17th century. An actual tangible piece of art history, and I'm so grateful to you for allowing me to hold it, because it's just such a precious object. But yeah, a wonderful thing. There's something very different also from the Hotung collection, but it couldn't be more different, I think, is a beautiful, smallish still life by Luis Melendez. I love Melendez's work. I always think of him as a kind of Spanish Chardin.
Yes, around the same time too.
A still life, but more than a still life.
He's an enigma, Melendez, because he painted these still lives, mostly fruit, but of other objects, including shellfish and dead game. He painted a series of 44 for the Prince of Asturias. And it's 39 of that series of 44, which are all very similar in size. They look wonderful together, and they look wonderful separately. It's an extraordinary body of work. And I think the fascination with Melendez is partly because he sprang seemingly fully formed when he painted this series in the late 1760s. You mentioned Chardin, but also with later artists, all the way through to Manet. There's a sense of his own heritage, but they add something completely new, and it's this 18th century light, it's this luminosity.
I love the different textures and colours in them, not just the luminosity of the fruit, but the basket work and the box of, I presume, some kind of sweetmeat, some kind of crab-apple jelly or quince paste, membrillo.
Membrillo, exactly.
That's it. And the apples are they're as sharply individuated as faces in a crowd might be in the hands of another artist.
Yes.
Each one has its own personality, its own history, its own indentations and colorations.
Well, I can tell you that Melendez's still lives make you hungry. There is an edibility that runs through them.
Very good. I like that. Thank you, George. It's been a real pleasure. Now, before we finish, we've also got a preview for you of some of the highlights of the Old Master sale at Sotheby's, New York, which takes place in January. So that's just about it. The viewing dates for the Sir Joseph Hotung collection sale and the Old Master evening auction are from the 2nd to the 7th of December. Do come along and see the artworks themselves if you possibly can. Until then, thank you so much for your company. See you next time.
Born into one of Hong Kong's most prestigious and wealthy families, Joseph Hotung studied and lived during his life in China, Hong Kong, the USA, and the UK, traveling extensively. It was perhaps this international element in his life that, once the seeds of collecting had been awakened in him by a wonderful pair of white jade bowls, allowed his naturally curious mind to travel aesthetically in search of the perfect complements to his life. The result was a home of superlative individual pieces that formed the backdrop to a private but remarkable life. Now, let's travel with Sir Joseph to examine 5 masterpieces that capture his collecting spirit. For Sir Joseph, these portraits represented so much more than likenesses. They reveal the history of the painter's social and artistic milieu from a different perspective. The undoubted highlight of the collection is Edgar Degas' portrait of Eugène Manet, the brother of Edouard Manet, and the husband of Berthe Morisot. Degas gave Morisot and Manet the painting as a wedding present. According to their daughter, Julie, Degas had included the seascape in the background to commemorate the fact that they became engaged whilst on holiday at Boulogne-sur-Mer. One of 9 works by Vuillard offered for sale from Sir Joseph's collection is the jewel-like painting Au Divin Japonais. This extraordinary portrait of the famous singer Yvette Guilbert provides an over-the-shoulder view of a Paris cabaret. Initially, it dazzles the casual viewer with a scintillating palette of orange, red, and yellow until the singer's profile is brought into focus. This painting embodies so much of what Vuillard tried to achieve at the outset of his career and is the perfect example of Sir Joseph's taste and connoisseurship. The Portrait of a Man by Frans Hals and Studio was painted circa 1634 to 35, when Hals was at the height of his career and demand for his work was ever increasing. The confidence of the deft brushwork in the man's face and head exemplifies Hals's innovative approach to portraiture, and it was precisely the nature of the spontaneous expression that attracted Sir Joseph Hotung to the portrait. Among the perhaps unexpected jewels of Sir Joseph's collection are the highly important pair of silver candelabra, made for the famous George III service and supplied by the silversmith Robert Joseph Auguste. Ordered for George's electoral palace in Hanover, only 6 candelabra were delivered by Auguste. The Musée du Louvre and the J. Paul Getty Museum each have a pair, with Sir Joseph's being the remaining pair and the last in private hands. The design of the candelabra typifies Auguste's groundbreaking neoclassical style, which was later adopted by important silversmiths such as Paul Storr. The attention to detail is simply phenomenal. For instance, on close inspection of the female masks, you can see the eyes alternate from open to close, of course, representing the transition from day to night, a fitting detail for candelabra. Sir Joseph's remarkable collection of Chinese furniture was complemented by a wonderful array of English pieces. Taking pride of place in his study, Sir Joseph's inner sanctum are a pair of crisply carved mahogany library armchairs, which are almost certainly by Thomas Chippendale. Chippendale was, without doubt, the greatest cabinet maker from the 18th century, a golden age of English furniture production, and this model is arguably one of his most recognizable designs. The attribution stands firmly on an almost identical suite of 14 elbow chairs commissioned by the 5th Earl of Dumfries for Dumfries House. The Dumfries commission is hugely significant, providing a rare and documented capsule of Chippendale's director period, so called following the publication of the game-changing pattern book in 1754. These 5 superlative works beautifully illustrate the breadth of Sir Joseph's interests and vision as a collector, and his unique ability to meld art from widely various cultures into an harmonious whole. But they also revealed something of the man himself. Part Confucian scholar, part English gentleman, but 100% human being. gentlemen, welcome to Sotheby's here in London. My name is Henry Howard Sneed, and I will be your auctioneer for this evening's sale of Hotung, the personal collection of the late Sir Joseph Hotung. Thank you for joining us wherever you may be. So it is good morning for those across the Atlantic, and thank you for staying up, those in Asia. I know it is late at night for you. I think my mic is not working. Is that correct? We can keep going. They can hear me? I have a loud voice, ladies and gentlemen, so I will continue. Before we start, as usual, I have a number of announcements to make, and they are as follows. That as your auctioneer, I may open the bidding on behalf of the seller. I may further bid on behalf of the seller up to the amount of the reserve by placing responsive or consecutive bids for a lot. As ever, a buyer's premium and an overhead premium will be added to the hammer price of each lot offered, along with any applicable VAT or amount in lieu of VAT, as well as any applicable artist resale right royalty, all as part of the total purchase price payable. An important announcement is that parties with a direct or indirect interest in the lots in this sale may be bidding on one or more lots. Please refer to the conditions of business for buyers for more information concerning interested parties. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I can start the auction, which we start with lot 1, which is the beautiful Parvati figure standing here on my left-hand side. This was one of the pieces that I think many of us found particularly beautiful. Sir Joseph kept very much to himself in his lovely home. And I'm going to start this now with a bid of 350, 360, 380. I have £400,000. Here with me, £400,000 is on my book. At 400,000, 420, 450, still here, 480. I saw a bid on the left, 480. But is here with me at 480. Will you take it further? 500 then. 520 here. 520 now. At 520, at 550 with Alice on the phone. At 550. 550 then. 580, George. At 580. George is bidder on the phone. Against you in the room. 600,000 back with Alice. 600,000. 650. Thomas, thank you very much. 650. Joshua, wow. At 650. 700,000. Thank you, George. 700,000. I see you, Julian, as well. Yes? 700,000 with George. 700 is yours. Not yours, Tom. Against you, Julian. Alice, are you out at 700,000? 750. Thank you, Julian. 750. 800,000. Bashwa. At 800,000 pounds. 850. Julian's bidder. 850. It's against you, George. Still against you, Thomas. And you, Alice. 900,000 with George. Still against you in the room there. At 900,000 pounds with George. Julian's shaking his head. Thomas, you out? At 900,000. 920. I will take 920, Julian. Joshua Arwa. At 920. 950 will be next. Yes? No? 920 is Julian's bidder. Joshua Arwa. At 950. Joshua Wu. $950. Next will be 980, I'm guessing. 950. It's George's bidder then, on the phone, at £950,000. Am I waiting for you, Julian? No? Please thank your client very much indeed. It's with George then. Anywhere else? At £950,000. Joshua, wow. Any more? Last chance. Thank you, George. L0010. Thank you very much indeed. Lot number 2. This is the exceptional altar table in Huanghuali wood, as showing for you, and on the screen above me, there it is. I have bids already on this. I must start it straight in at 180, 190, 200, 220, 240, all with me, £240,000, my bidder on the book at £240,000. 260, 280. 28万. £280,000, still with me on the book. 300,000, 320. 32. 350. Thank you, sir. 35. I'm out now. 350. Gentleman's bid. 350. 35万. At 350. It's against your line as well. The gentleman's bid in the room. 35万. 380. Thank you, Cherry. 38. 40万. 400,000. 420. 42. 450. 45. At 450. 45万. 480. 48. 500,000. Straight back. 50万. Gentleman's bid on my right. 50万. 550. 55. 600,000. Straight back at you, Cherry. 60万. 650. 65. 700,000. 70万. 750. 75. 80万. 800,000. 85. 850. 90万. 900. 950. 95. 100万. 1 million. £1 million. It's against you both. Anywhere else? 1 million 1. 101. 1 million 1. 1 million 1 and 50. 1 million 150. 115万. 1,150,000. You still thinking, Gordon? It's against you, Cherry. Next is 2. Yes? You bidding? 2 million. 200万. Yeah, sorry, not 2 million. 1 million 2. There was I showing off. 1 million 2. 120万. 125. 125. Yes? Your bid, sir. 1,250,000. 125万. 130万. You sure? Thank you very much, sir. 1 million 3 is with Cherry. Gordon, do I come back to you? No? You sure? Not one more? You've come a long way. No? Lots of head shaking. 1,300,000 pounds. 130万. With Cherry on the phone. Not yours, Gordon. Anywhere else? Last chance. Cherry, that's yours. L0023. Thank you very much indeed. Lot number 3. This is the Very rare and rather beautiful Shakyamuni Buddha from Thailand, as viewed. And I can start this now at £50,000 here with me. 50,000. Wow, £50,000 is up front. 55,000. 60,000 then. At 60,000, 65,000. At 65,000 then. See with me at 65. At £65,000. Anyone take it further than 65? 70,000. Thank you, George. 70,000. Chihuahua. George's bidder then at 70,000. It's against you in the room. It's on the phone now. Chihuahua at 70,000. 75,000. $80,000 on the aisle. Thank you, Gordon. 80,000. Bow out. Still against you, George. 85. 90,000. 95. 100. It's £100,000. 110. 120. It's the lady's bid. 130. Yes? 140. 150. 160. 170. 180. 190. No. Thank you very much, though, madam. 190,000 with George on the telephone. At 190. Am I looking anywhere else? £190,000 on the phone with George. Last chance then, 190. You sure? 190, George, that's yours. L0010. Thank you. Lot number 4, the Anthony van Dyck. And I can start this now at 280. Here with me, 300,000 up front. 320 is here with me then at 320 now. At 320. Anyone take me on? At 320. At £320,000. It's 320, 340 then. 360, I must go. At 360. At 360. It's £360,000. Saint-Gillois at £360,000. Any advance now? 360. Bid is 360. 380 now. 380. You're bidding, sir? No? 380. At 380. I see a couple of telephones. Am I waiting for you? 380. Saint-Gillois at 380. You're bidding? 400,000. It's on the telephone. 400,000. At £400,000. 400,000. Against you in the room, the bid is on the phone now. At 400,000. Sichuan. At 400,000. Any more? At £400,000 then, I'm selling at 400,000. No more? At £400,000, the hammer's up. At 400,000. Last chance. Thank you very much indeed. L0008. Thank you. Number 5. This is the Franz Hals. Favourite of Sir Joseph's, I know. Particularly grabbed by the immediate expression that he had, this lovely figure. I can start this now at 320,000, 340, 360, up front then at 360. Saint-Gillois 1, 360, 380, 400,000 then, at 400,000. But he's here with me at 400,000. At 400,000. It's against you there. At 400,000. Anyone take it further now? 400,000. Sichuan. At £400,000. I see some telephones. At £400,000. Anyone take it further now? 420. Thank you. 420 now. 420. At 420. 450. At £450,000. Is this yours yet? 450. It's against you there at 450. So wow. At £450,000. Anyone go any further at 450? It's against you all at 450. I see you, George. 450. 480 with George then. At 480. At £480,000. Still against you in the room. The bid is now on the phone. 480. I'm selling that at £480,000. At £480,000, it's going to George's telephone bidder at £480,000. No more? George, that's yours. Thank you very much. Is that same as last? L0010, 480. Lot number 6, the first of the Vuillard. The self-portrait in a mirror. And I can start this now at £300,000. £300,000. Here with me at 300,000. 320 then. I have 320. At 320. It's £320,000. Here with me at 320. Anyone take me further? At £320,000. 350. Thank you, Ollie. At 350. It's on the phone now with Ollie. At 350. It's Ollie's telephone bidder now. At 350. Any more? At 350. 380. At 380. A bid there? 400,000. I can't take that. Next is 400. I'm sorry. Thank you very much, Ollie. £400,000. Ollie's bidder at 400,000. Do I hear any more than 400,000? It's with Ollie now at 400,000. Any advance then at £400,000? Ollie's telephone bidder. Anywhere else? Against the phone lines? 420, thank you. 410? It's like being back in Hong Kong. £410,000. We'll go in tens. 420. No? 420 with Ollie then at 420. Not yours in the room. Not yours online. It's Ollie's bidder against all the other phones at £420,000 then. Last chance. You sure? Thank you very much, Ollie. L0021. 420,000. Lot number 7. This is the gentleman in black. And I can start this now at 850, 900, 950,000 pounds. Here with me, 950,000 pounds. Will anyone take me on at 950,000 pounds? It's up front at 950,000 pounds. 1 million. At 1 million. It's 1 million pounds then. At 1 million. Cherry, are you bidding? At 1 million? At 1 million pounds. At 1 million pounds. Do I hear any more then? At 1 million pounds. Bid is up front. 1,000,001. Thank you very much. Thomas, on the telephone at 1,000,001. It's Thomas's bidder at 1,000,001. It's against you, Ollie, with Thomas then at 1,000,001. 1,000,002. It's 1,000,002. It's against you, Tom. 1,000,003. Tom's better then at 1,000,003. Still against you, Ollie. At 1 million. Yes, 1,000,004. At 1,000,004. Still against you, Ollie. 1,000,004. 1,000,005. Thomas. At 1,000,005. It's with Thomas on the phone. Still not yours, Ollie. Against you in the room. At 1,000,005. 1,000,006. Thank you, Ollie. So now the two phones. Not yours in the room. At 1,000,006. 1,000,007. At 1,000,007. 1,000,007. With Tom. 1,000,008. 1,000,009. Thomas's bidder. 2 million. Thank you, Ollie. At 2 million. At £2 million. Of course I will. 2,000,001 from Thomas. 2,000,002. 2,000,002. Thank you, Ollie. 2,000,002. Still with Ollie then at 2,000,002. 2,000,003. 2,000,004. 'Anywhere else? It's 2,000,004. Still with the two telephones. 2,000,005. Thank you, Thomas. 2,000,005. 2,000,006. 2,000,007. Thank you, Thomas. 2,700,000 pounds. Then 2,000,008 with Ollie. 2,000,008. Thinking. At 2,000,008. Not all the time, Thomas. At 2,000,008. Still with Ollie then at 2,000,008. 2,000,009. Yes, 2,000,009. Still with Thomas. At 2,000,009. Thomas is bidder then. Anywhere else? It's with Thomas. 2,000,950. Yes, 2,000,950. Now with Ollie. This is called threshold resistance. 2,000,950 is Ollie's telephone bidder. You sure? 3,000,001. We're jumping. No threshold resistance there. Next would be 2. 3,000,002. 3,000,002. Thank you, Ollie. At 3,200,000. Ollie's telephone bid. You out. Thank you very much, Thomas. Please thank your client. With you now, Ollie. Ollie, I see you at 3,200,000. Are you quite sure? 3,250,000. $3,003,000. No, for sure. Please thank your client very much, Thomas. With Ollie then at 3,003,000. Are we sure? Nowhere else at 3,300,000. Thank you very much, Ollie. L0020. Thank you very much. 3,000,003. Lot number 8, the large blue and white Mandarin duck and lotus pond dish of the Yuan period, blue and white porcelain. I have a bit already on my book here. I'm going to start it at 350,000, 380, 400,000. 40,000. Here on my book at 400,000, 420. With you, I'm out now. That's Cherry's bidder at 420. 40,000 at 420. With Cherry, I'm out at 420. 40,000. 450. Thank you, Angela. 45. 450. Angela's bidder. At 400. 480 is on my right, ahead of you, Cherry. 48,000. 500,000. 50,000. 55, 550. 60,000. 600,000. Thank you, Angela. New place there. 650. 65. 700,000. 70,000. With Angela then, not yours, Cherry. 700,000. 72. 720. No, 720. Gentleman's bid. Not yours, Cherry. Not yours, Angela. Anywhere else? 720. 750. 75. 78. 780. 78,000. 780,000 pounds. You say 8? 800,000. Bashar. Bashar? No? Sisier. 800,000 then is with Cherry. Bashar. At 800,000. You sure? 800,000. Angela's out. Anywhere else? Bashar. At 800,000 pounds. The hammer's up. Thank you, Cherry. L0003. Thank you very much indeed. Lot number 9. This is the Eau Divin Japonais, the lovely little vuillard, much admired. And I can start this now at 750,000 pounds. I have with me 750 up front then. 750. Wow. 750,000 pounds to start. 800,000. Thank you. At 800,000. At 800,000. 850. 900,000. 950. It's on the aisle. 950. At 950. Gentleman's bid. 1 million. Thank you, Helena. 1 million. 1,000,001. 1 million. 1,000,004. No? Thank you, though. 1,000,004. With you, Helena? Still your bid. Against you, Ollie? No? Handshake. It's with Helena, not with you, Ollie, not with you, sir, either of you in the room, at 1,000,004. At 1,400,000 pounds. 1,000,005. Thank you, Thomas. 1,000,006. Not yours. 1,000,007. Back with Thomas. 1,000,008. Straight back. Helena's bidder at 1,000,008. 1,000,009. Back with Thomas. 2 million. Thank you, Helena. At £2 million. It's against you two gentlemen on the phone. This is Helena's bid. 2,000,001. I will take. Yes. We'll go on in ones. Are you in, Ollie, or not? Just talking. 2,000,001. It's with Thomas. 2,000,002. Helena's bidder. £2,000,003. Back with Thomas. At 2,300,000. It's Thomas's bidder. She's shaking her head. No? You sure? Helena's out at £2,300,000 then. 2.4. Wasn't just conversation. Ollie's bidder now. 2,000,004. Ollie's bidder then. Helena's out at 2,000,004. £2,000,005. With Thomas. At 2,000,006. Now it's with Ollie at £2,600,000. At 2,600,000. Ollie's bidder then. Am I holding for you, Thomas? Of course. Yes? 2,650,000. We'll do 50s. With Thomas. £2,007,000. We'll say 50 again. £2,007,000 then is Ollie's bidder. No. 2,007,000 then is Ollie's telephone bidder. Anywhere else? At £2,700,000. Are you sure, Thomas? 2,007,000? Head shaking. With you now, Ollie. Helena, am I waiting? Thank you very much, Ollie. L0020. £2,700,000. Thank you very much. Lot number 10. The first of the pieces of furniture, the giltwood pier mirrors, George II. And I can start these now at £25,000. £25,000. Back down to earth at £25,000. 26, 28, we've got two online bidders there, 28,000. 30,000. I'll take your bids online, 30,000. This is paddle 21, 32,000. It's all online, 32,000, 35,000. 38,000. 40,000, 42, at 42, 45, 48,000, 50,000, 55,000. We have three bidders online, actually, not two. 55,000, 60,000. At £60,000 then. It's paddle 21. £60,000. 65, Henry House, over on my right. It's nice to see you all coming in there at £65,000. 70,000 back online. 75,000. 80,000. 85,000. 90,000. 95. 100,000. Nope, head shaking. Thank you very much there, Henry. Still £100,000. This is the online bidder. Do I hear any more? At £100,000, Chouin. At £100,000 then, it's the online bidder. Are you sure? Thank you. Online bidder, paddle 21. £100,000. Thank you very much. Lot number 11. This is the impressive pair of large cabinets, compound cabinets, part in Huanghuali and some camphor wood. I have a bid already on this at 160, 170, 180. Here with me, 190, £200,000. All up front with me at £200,000. Archouin at £200,000. The bid is here. 220, 240, 260, 280, 300, 320. 350 is yours, George. I'm out at 350. Saint-Jean, at £350,000. George's. Are you bidding, Christy? 380. Saint-Jean. 400,000. Sichuan. 420. This is Cherry's bidder. 42. 450. 45. 450,000 is George's bidder. 45. Cherry's out. Christy, you out? 450. 45. At 450. I'm waiting for you. 45. No. Definitely out. This is George's then at £450,000. 45. Any more? At £450,000 then. George, that's yours. Thank you very much. Is that L0010? Thank you very much. £450,000. Lot number 12. The Georges Seurat. Paysan au travail. And I can start this now at £180,000. Here with me, 180. The bid is up front at £180,000. At £180,000. 190. Thank you, Mark. Mark's bid on the phone at 190. It's 190, 200,000. I have to take 220. At £200,000. It's against you at £200,000. I need 220. Nope. At £200,000 then. Helena, am I waiting for you? I see some conversations on the phone. At £200,000. Will you raise that? At £200,000. Any advance now? You certain, Mark? You can't go there? At £200,000 then? Any advance now? At £200,000. It's £200,000 then. It's against you all and against you online. Archouin at £200,000. Gavels in the air at 200,000. No? At £200,000 then. It's a fair warning. At 200,000. Passed. Lot number 13. This is the Degas, the Eugène Manet portrait. Lovely piece that had pride of place in Sir Joseph's drawing room, main room, above the fireplace. And I have bids on this. I must start it at 2,800,000, 3 million. Here with me, 3,200,000. £3,200,000. At 3,200,000. Bid is here with me then. At 3,200,000. 3,400,000. Against you. 3,500,000. I will take 3,500,000. Ben's bidder at 3,500,000. You're above me at 3,500,000. It's with Ben on the telephone then at 3,500,000. at 3,000,005. Anyone more at 3,000,005? It's with Ben on the telephone at 3,000,005. Anyone going to raise me at 3,000,005? It's with Ben on the telephone. You bidding? 3,600, I will take, George. 3,600. We'll go in ones. 3,700, thank you, Ben. At 3,000,007. 3,000,008. 3,000,009. At 3,000,009, with Ben on the phone. 4 million. For 1, we'll carry on in ones. 4,000,001. 4,000,002. 4,000,003. 4,000,003 is with Ben. 4,000,003. 4,000,004. 4,000,005. 4,600. 4,007,000. 4,008,000. 5 million. Ben's bidder at 5 million. 5,100. George. We'll have a conversation later. 5,000,001. At 5,100,000. George's bidder. It's not yours, Ben. Will you say 5,200? 5,002,000. 5,003,000. No? Thank you very much, Ben, and please thank your client. 5,003,000 is with you, George, at 5,003,000. Anyone else coming in at 5,003,000? It's George's bidder. No more? At 5,300,000, the phone is down. With you now, George, at 5,300,000. Thank you, George. L0010, 5,003,000. Lot 14, another of the VR. This is the woman with her hands on her hips. And I can start this now at 350, 380, 400,000. Such a one. At 400, 400,000 pounds. At 400 then. 420. Such a one. 420. At 420,000 pounds. Anyone take it further then at 420? Such a one. At 420,000 pounds. Bid is here with me at 420,000 pounds. Am I waiting for the phones? At 420,000 pounds. It's 420,000 pounds against you further away there. At 420,000 pounds. Such a one. At 420. Any more then? At 420,000 pounds. Looking for a bid then at 420. No more? At 420. Ollie, you bidding? No? Shaking his head. At 420. The gavel's up then at 420. No more? At 420,000 pounds. Passed. That's 420. Lot number 15. This one is the Le Danseur Perrault. And I can start this now at 380,000 pounds again. At 380. The bid is here with me. At 380. Up front now at 380,000 pounds. Will you take it further than 380? At 380, 400,000 I have, 400. 420 I must go. At 420. It's 420, 450, 450. At 450. It's 450,000 pounds. Any advance now? At 450, 480. At 480,000 pounds. At 480. Am I coming down here? At 480,000 pounds. Any more then? At 480. 490,000 pounds with Ollie. 490. Ollie's bidder at 490. Ollie's bidder then at 490,000 pounds. Anyone take it further? It's with Ollie. Anywhere else? Phones down the other end? No? Charles? No? 490,000 pounds then. It's with Ollie on the telephone at 490. Anyone take it further? At 490, it's with Ollie on the phone. Anywhere on my right? No? 490,000 pounds. I'm selling at 490,000 pounds. Last chance. That's yours, Ollie. 490 L0021. Thank you very much. Lot number 16. Again, Vuya. And I can start this now at £75,000 here with me, 75. Up front then at £75,000 to start, at 75,000. Anyone take it further then at 75,000, but he's here with me, 75, 80, 85 then, at 85, still here, 90, 95, still mine, at 95. At £95,000 is against you, at £95,000, but he's here with me, at £95,000. Any advance then at £95,000. Looking over to the right, at £95,000, but is here with me then. At 95, you taking it on? Helena? No? George, you're not on this? At £95,000, it's against you all then. At £95,000, it's a fair warning. At 95, that's bought in. Lot number 17. The Madame Henri Fèvre. And I can start this now at £300,000. Here with me, 300,000. Bid is up front with me at £300,000. Anyone take me on then at £300,000? At £300,000. Any advance? 320 online, 320, 340. Then I must go 340. At 340. 340. It's against you online at 340. Anyone take me further then at 340? It's not yours online. At 340,000, 360. At 360. It's 360. 380. Saint-Germain at 380. At 380. Against you in the room, but still against you online as well. 380. Anyone take me further than £380,000? At 380. Looking over to my right, at £380,000 then, still against you online at 380. Any more? At £380,000. It's not yours. 380. No more? 380. Hammers up. Pass, 380. Lot number 18. This is the large Vuya. Dominant piece again in the drawing room, Sir Joseph. And I can start this now at £450,000 with me for 8,500. I have with me at £500,000. But he's here with me, 500, 520 then, at 520. At 520, 550, 580. At 580. Still here at 580. It's against you. 600 with you, Ben. Thank you very much. 600,000 is Ben's bidder. Still against you in the room. The bid is on my right now with Ben. 600,000. 600,000. Anywhere else then? At 600,000? Not yours, it's with Ben. At 600,000. Any advance now? Not yours online either. At £600,000. Anyone want to take it further than £600,000? It's Ben's telephone bidder. At 600,000. I'm selling at £600,000. The hammer's up. Last chance. No more? Thank you, Ben. L0024, 600,000. Lot 19, back to the furniture. This one, the first of the stools by Thomas Chippendale. And I have a bid already on this. I must start it at 20,000, 22 here with me, 24 at £24,000 up front. My bid on my book at £24,000. Anyone take me further? The bid is here with me. 26 is online, 28. I go. 28,000, 30,000, 32,000. My bid here on my book. 32, 35, 38. We have two bids online at 38 now. I'm out at 38,000. 40,000. It's all online then. 42. I'm taken out of the picture. It's 42,000, 45,000, 48,000. At £48,000 then. Still online. 50. At £50,000. 55. At 55. I'm watching you. It's all online now. At £55,000. 60,000. Thank you, Angela. In a new place with Angela on the telephone, not yours online. This is 60,000 with Angela. At £60,000. Against you both online. This is a telephone bid. At £60,000. 65. Back online. £70,000. Angela's bidder. At 70,000. At £70,000. 72, asked with such charm that I can't possibly say no. 75 back online. Still against you, Angela. 75. Do you want to say 78, Helena? 85. I'd take 85 any day. 85. We jump to that at 85,000. It's against you online then. It's with Angela, not yours, Helena, at £85,000. 88. At £88,000. Now with Helena, not yours, Angela, at 88. 90,000. 92. It's £92,000 then. With Helena, not yours, Angela. At £92,000 then. Are you out online? At £92,000. It's all on the phones now. With Helena. 92. I'm waiting, Angela, at £92,000. I've given up on you online. Angela's out. It's with Helena at 92,000. Are we all done then? At £92,000. Thank you, Helena. L0028 for 92,000. Lot number 20, the second of the stools. And again, I have a bid of 20,000, 22, 24 here with me at £24,000 on my book at £24,000. Anyone take me further than 24? It's up front here with me on my book, 26, 28, 30, 32, 32, still with me on my book, 35, and you knocked me out, 38. We're now back to the two online, 40 now. The leading online bidder at £40,000. 42, 45, at 45, 48, 50, 55, 60, at £60,000 then. It's the leading online bidder. I see you, Angela. Coming back to you, 62. Helena's famous bid there, 65. $65,000, still against you online. 68. Now we're on the phones. 68,000. 70,000. 72. 75. 78 is next. 78. 80,000. 82. 82 then. 85. 85,000. Angela's bidder. Are we letting the pair split again? And 88 is next. It's a good number in Chinese, I assure you. 85,000. Means lots of wealth. Thank you very much. 88,000. I'll try anything. At 88,000 pounds then. Helena's bidder. Not yours, Angela. 90,000. 92. So we're back to where we were. 92,000. Helena's bidder on the phone. Not yours, Angela. Still against you online. At 92,000 pounds. Thinking. 94. Is that what you're saying? You're bidding 94? In for a penny, in for a pound. 94,000. We'll go in twos. 96, straight back. At 96. It's 96,000 pounds then. No, with Helena then, at 96,000. Henry's not bidding. Angela, it's against you. 98. 100. Goodness knows where we're going from here. 100,000 pounds then. Helena's bidder. £100,000. Helena's bidder. I must hurry you now, Angela. Still not yours online. 100,000. The hammer's up. I must hurry you. Last chance. Once. Twice. 102. Next will be 5. Oh, 104. They've spotted me. I'm in pushover. 104. At 104. Helena's bidder. $106. At £108,000. Not yours, Angela. 108. 112. There we go. It's an inexplicable world, isn't it? £112,000. £140. It's £114,000. At 114,000. Last chance then. At 114, the hammer's up now. You're out. Thank you very much, though, Angela. With you, Helena, at 114, and the pairs stay together. Thank you very much, L0028. Thank you, Helena. Lot number 21. This is the pair of mahogany armchairs from the Chippendale Directory. I have bids on this of 60, 65, 70,000 here with me at £70,000. The bid is up front with me at £70,000. Will you take it further? 70,000, 75, 80,000, Still with me at 80,000. It's my absentee bid at £80,000. 85,000, 90, I go. 90,000 on my book. 95, 100. £100,000 here with me. On my book. £100,000. Against you, Henry. The bid is on my book at £100,000. Are you still going? 110, Thomas. 120. 120, still my bid. 130, I'm out now. That's yours, Thomas. At £130,000. Henry, are you out? Shaking his head. 130,000 is with Thomas. George, should I wait for you? No, head shaking. At £130,000. Jerry, am I? No? £130,000 then. It's Thomas's bidder. On the telephone. Any more? Last chance. 130. Thank you, Thomas. 130 L0005. Thank you very much. Lot 22. This is the Matisse Tête de Femme, who is Madame Pailly. And I have bid on this already. I'm going straight in at 380, 400, 420, 450. All with me, 450,000, 480, 500,000, 550. I must go. Bourgeois, £500,000 is here with me. Bourgeois, 500. 500. Can we catch up, please? Thank you. There we are. We're in the right place. 550. We're in the right place now. It's against you, Cherry. At £550,000. 550. Are you done, Cherry? At 550. 600,000. You knocked me out with that bid. At 600,000 is Cherry's bidder. Thomas, are you bidding? At £600,000 then is with Cherry. At 600,000. Anyone take it further? At 600,000. 650. 650. £650,000. It's with Thomas. Not yours, Cherry. Anywhere else? At £650,000. No one on the right? 680? Yes? Is that a bid? 680. Liu Shibaowan. 680. Yes? 700,000. Qishuan. We'll say 20. 700,000 then is with Thomas. $720. 72. 720. It's with Cherry. 750. 75. 780. 78. Cherry's bidder then at 780. £780,000 then. It's with Cherry. 800,000. We'll say 20 again. 820. Sorry, I slipped into American there. 820. 850. Next will be 880. You say 880? You will? 880, back with Cherry. $900 it is. At £900,000. One more? At £900,000 then, it's Thomas's bidder, 920. It's 920 with cherry. 950. £980. At £980,000, £1 million. What do you want to say? No? Head shaking. There's the threshold. Thank you very much, Cherry. With you now, Thomas, at £1 million. Nowhere else? At £1 million, then. Thank you, Thomas. L0005. Thank you, Cherry, also. Lot number 23, the Henry Moore. And I have a bid already on this of 130, 40, 50, 60, 170, all on my book at £170,000. At £170,000. And I'm selling to my absentee bidder at 170. Anyone take it further than 170? Shitiwan at £170,000. It's my absentee bidder. Anyone go further than 170? No more? It's my bid on the book. I see you, Henry. I'll take 175. I've shown myself to be an absolute pushover, so here we go again. At 175, I'm out. That's yours. Quite a clever bid, actually. 175. At £175,000. I'm selling to Henry's bidder. Chris, are you bidding? No? At £175,000, going to Henry's bidder on the telephone. I'm out. Any more then? At £175,000, the hammer's up. Thank you, Henry. L0037. Thank you very much. Lot number 24. The Alberto Giacometti portrait of Peter Watson. And I can start this now at 75, 80, 85,000 here with me. At 85,000. It's up front. 85, 90, 95 then. At 95. Any advance now at £95,000. It's against you now at £95,000. John, at £95,000. Any phones? At £95,000, the bid is here with me. At £95,000. Bid is up front then. At £95,000 and against you all. No one take it further? At 95,000. That's bought in. Lot number 25, the Degas, portrait of Marguerite Degas. And I can start this now at 85,000 here with me now, at 85. At £85,000. 85,000. Anyone go further than this then? At £85,000. It's up front with me at 85,000. Yes, 90,000. 95, I must go. At 95, 100, 110. 110, Shi'iwan. At £110,000. Against you. No, at £110,000. Anyone take it further than 110? Looking down the line of phones. No, £110,000. But he's here with me. It's against you in the room and on all the phones. At £110,000. Fair warning. At 110. Any advance now at £110,000? No more? At £110,000, the hammer's up. That's bought in, 110. Lot 26, now we're on the Louis Melendez, the still life. And I can start this now at 350,000 with me, 350, 360, 380 now, 380. At 380, it's 380,000. Do I see a bid online? No, it's just the way it was flashing. 380, 400,000. Thank you, sir. Gentleman's bid now at 400,000. Anyone take it? 420, 450, 480, 500,000. 500,000 then. Gentleman's bid. 550. 600,000. 620. Will you say 650, sir? 650? Yes, 650. 700,000. 750. 800,000. Yes, that's a bid, sir. 850. 850 then. Gentleman's bid in the room. Anywhere else at 850? It's not yours, Ben. It's with the gentleman. At £850,000. Are you bidding, Thomas? Look like you might be. £850,000, not yours, Ben. It's with the gentleman. At 850. Chris, am I waiting for you? 870. Why not? 870. 900. Thank you, sir. Do you want to say 920? At £900,000. Gentleman's bid in the room. How are you doing, Ben? No, Ben's out. With you, sir. At £900,000. Anywhere else? At £900,000. It's the gentleman's bid in the room. Against you all on the right and on the left. Paddle 671. Thank you very much, sir. £900,000. Lot number 27, the Fontaine-Latour. This was beautifully shown next to a 14th, 15th century Chinese piece of the Jun type, Junyao. Also the same purple, the beautiful purple asters. And I have bids on this. I can start it at £400,000 here with me for 2450, 480, 500,000 all up front, 500, 520 then. I must go, 520. Bid is here with me at 520. Anyone going to take me further? At 520. 550, thank you, Ben. I must go 580 here. 600, that's yours. I'm out. At £600,000 then is Ben's bidder on the phone. At £600,000. Mark, are you bidding? 600,000, it's with Ben. At £600,000. Anyone go further? I see you, George. Am I waiting? 600 is with Ben on the top. 650. Yes? 700. With Ben. $750. $800. Ben's bidder at 800. No? With Ben then. You bidding? You are. 850. 870. $870. 870. Say 9. 900,000. I'll say 20, Ben. 920. 950. 1 million. I'll say 50 though. At £1 million. With Ben then, at £1 million. Will you take it further? 1,000,001. 1,150,000. 1,150,000. 1,002,000. 1,250,000. 1,250,000. It's all the phones now. 1,003,000. 1,300,000. Not yours, Ben. 1,003,000 with Thomas. Am I waiting? At 1,003,000 and 50. $1,350,000. Ben's bidder then on the telephone, not yours, Thomas. £1,350,000. $1,380,000. You've come a long way. Did you say 1,004,000? 1,004,000. £1,400,000 then. It's with Ben. There are two telephones possibly here, but certainly one with Thomas I'm waiting for. At 1,004,000. No, head shaking. Thank you very much though, Thomas. With you, Ben. At 1,004,000. Am I waiting for you, George? At 1,400,000 then. It's Ben's bidder. The hammer's up. I'm waiting. 1,450,000. This one with George. 1,500,000. At 1,500,000. 1,550,000. George's bidder then, not yours, Ben. 1,600,000. 650,000. No, thank you very much though, Ben. Please thank your client. This is with you now, George. £1,650,000. You're definitely out, Thomas. That's it now with you, George. I'm selling £1,650,000. Thank you very much, George. L0010. Lot number 28. The first of the silver, very important pair of wine coolers, Robert Joseph Auguste, and I can start these now at £150,000 here with me, 150, at 150, 160, 170, 180, yes, 190 here still, 190, 200,000, it's 200,000, and against you online at 200,000, it's 200,000, 220 then, 220, 220, 240, 240. It's £240,000. It's not yours there. At 240. Aisha at £240,000. At 240. I see you, Henry. At 240. 250 I will take. 250. Against you online as well. 250. Henry's bidder. Also against you, Cynthia. 260. 260. It's all on my right now. 270. We'll go in tens. 280. Cynthia's bidder. 290. No. With Henry then, 290. Harry, are you bidding? No, 290 is with Henry. I see you, Isabel. 290. You're spotlit as if from heaven. 290,000 is with Henry. 300,000. You going in tens, Henry? Making me work for my supper. 300,000. 310. 320. 330. 340. 350. 360,000 pounds. You're out. Thank you very much, Henry. Then, Isabel, this is with you. At 360,000 pounds. Last chance. 360. L0009. Thank you very much, Isabel. 360,000. Lot number 29. These the English versions of the same form. And I'm going to start these now at £30,000 here with me. 3258 up front, £38,000. Bid is here with me at £38,000. Will you take it further than £38,000? At £38,000. 40,000, thank you, 40,000, 42,000. Still here, 42. At £42,000. Any more? At £42,000 then. Bid is here with me then at 42. 45. Harry, I see you, 45. I must go 48. 50,000, you knock me out. 50,000 then is Harry's bidder at £50,000. Still against you online. It's with Harry on the phone. At £50,000. Am I waiting for you, Isabel? Harry's bidder on the phone at 50,000. 55 with Isabel. 58. 60,000. 62? Yep, 62. 65. 65 is with Isabel. You say 68? Isabel's bidder then. Not yours, Harry. Anywhere else? At 68. 70,000. No, you're out. Thank you very much, though, Harry. With Isabel, once again, at £70,000. The hammer's up. 70,000. L0009. Thank you, Isabel. 70,000. Lot number 30, the pair of George III tour shares. And I can start these now at 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 16, 17 up front, £17,000. But it's here with me at 17. Here with me then at 17. Anyone take me further? at 17, 18, 19, still here, at 19,000. At 19,000, it's against you online. Bid is here with me at 19. At £19,000, you take it further than 19. Am I waiting for you, Joao? At £19,000, it's also against you online. At 19,000. Henry, no. At £19,000, then it's with me at £19,000 and against you online and in the room and on the phones. At 19,000, the hammer's up. Are you sure? At £19,000, no more. Passed, 19,000. Lot number 31, the pair of candelabra. These also by Robert Joseph Auguste. And I can start these now at £250,000. Here with me, 250. The bid is here with me on my book at 250. You take it further. Then £250,000. 260, 280. I must go. 280, 300,000, 320. At 320, 320, 340. At 340, it's £340,000 then. You bidding? No, 340. At £340,000. It's against the phones now. It's £340,000. 360. George's bidder then, 360. It's on the telephone with George at 360. 380. Henry now. 380. 400,000. At 400,000. $400,000. 420 with Cynthia in new place. £420,000. It's Cynthia's bidder, not yours, Henry. Against you, George. £420,000. At £420,000, George, you out? 440. I'll take 440. We'll go in 20s. $460 would be next. Ooh, 450. At 450. I'm losing every time here. £450,000 then. 460, Henry. Okay, we'll go in 10s, but no lower, Cynthia. At 460. $470. $480. £480,000 then. No, you're out. It's with Henry now. George, are you still out? £480,000 with you, Henry. Not your Cynthia. Anywhere else? I'm selling. Thank you, Henry. L0007, 480. Lot number 32, the important tureen, soup tureen, cover, liner and stand, also by Auguste. I can start this now at £55,000 here with me. The bid is with me at 55, 60,000. £60,000 up front. £60,000, 65,000. At 65. At £65,000. Anyone take it further than 65? £65,000. I see you on the phones at 65. I'm waiting for you, Henry. Are you bidding or are you just saying wait? £65,000. At £65,000. You bidding 70? Yes? Is that a bid? £65,000, it's against you. At 65, 70 I have. 70,000, 75,000. It's against you both now. 75. $80. Henry's bid at 80. 85. What's going on down there? £85,000, 90,000. Back with Henry. 95. No, thank you very much there, Henry. With you, George, at £95,000 then. Last chance, at £95,000. Thank you, George, that's yours, L0010. Lot number 33, this is the set of 10 side chairs. And I can start them straight in at 45,000, 48,50 I have. At £50,000 up front now. At 50,000, 55,000. At £55,000. Catching up online, there we are. At £55,000. But it's here with me at 55,000. Any advance then at £55,000? Bid is here at 55. Anyone take it further? It's £55,000 then. It's against you online. Bid is here with me, not yours, at £55,000 then. Are you sure? Pass. Lot number 34, the Thomas Patch, view of the Arno. And I have it already on this. I can start it at 55, 60, 65 here with me. On my book then at £65,000. My bid at £65,000. Anyone take it further? 70,000, 75. At 75. It's 75 against you there. No, at £75,000. Bid is still here. I see you. 80,000. You knocked me out. That's yours now, George. At £80,000. Still against you in the room. At £80,000, it's George's bidder. At £80,000. Anyone take it further then? At £80,000, I'm selling to George's bidder. Fair warning now at £80,000. George, that's yours. Is that L0010 once again? For £80,000. Lot number 35. This is the beautiful little Turner of the Grand Canal with Santa Maria della Salute. And I have again bids on this. I must start it at 180, 190, 200,000. All with me at 200,000. The bid's here at £200,000. Anyone take me further? At 200,000, 220. Thank you. 240. At 240. Bid is with me, not yours online. Can we catch up? Because there was a bid there. 240, it's still here with me. Anyone else take this on? Greg, are you taking it on? At 240, the bid is here. At 240. 260, thank you very much. I must go 280. At £280,000. It's also against you online. 300,000. Greg, that's yours, and I'm out. At £300,000. George, I see you. At £300,000. It's with Greg. 320 is online. Saint Arwan, 320. 340. At 340. Greg's bidder, not yours online. Next will be 360, please. Thank you. 360, thank you, sir. Hiding in the murk at the back there, it's quite dark. £360,000. 380. It's against you online, against you, sir, now. 380. 400,000. 420. 450. 480. 500,000. Gentleman's bid. $520. I will take $520 on the phone with Greg. $540. Anything you can do, I can do better, right? $540. We'll go in 20s, Greg. 540. It's the gentleman standing, still against you online, if you're still going, at 540. 560? No? Absolutely no? Okay. 550. I've shown myself to be a pushover, so let's carry on in that vein. 550 it is. 560. Straight back though. No. Thank you very much though, Greg. £560,000 then, standing in the centre. Anywhere else? At £560,000, with you now, sir. You sure? Thank you, sir. 560. Paddle is 697. I have it. Thank you. £560,000. Lot number 36, the Eugène Boudin. And I can start this now at £75,000. Here with me at £75,000. Anyone raise this now? £75,000, but he's here with me at £75,000. I see you. £80,000. Thank you very much. George at £80,000. It's on the phone with George at £85,000. £90,000. New place. £95,000. It's against you both then. £100,000. Think so? No? 110. Back, it's all on the phones now. 110. 120. $120 then. No? No? 120 then. With you, George. At 120, against you in the room. Not on the further phone. £120,000 I am selling to George's bidder. You sure? Thank you, George. L0010 for £120,000. Thank you. Lot number 37, another of the Vuillard, La Couseuse. And I can start this now at 75, 80, 85, 90. I have with me 95, 100. All up front with me at £100,000. Anyone take it further than 100,000, 110, 120, 120, still here. Charwan at £120,000. Any advance now at 120,000, 130, 140, I must go. 150, that's yours now. I'm out at 150, against you, Cherry. Shu, 160, Shiliao. 170, Shiti. 170, Shiti 1. 180. 190. 19. 190. George's bidder then. Can you say 200? 19. 190 with George, 21. 200,000. At £200,000. To 10. RCE. Booyah. At 210,000 then, that's yours, George. Not Cherry's anymore. At 210,000. Can we get the numbers right? Is that right? Yep. 210,000. George's bidder, 210. Thank you, George. L0010. Lot number 38. Another of the Vuillard, Madame Arthur Fontaine. And I can start this now at £50,000 here with me. 50,000, 55,000. 60,000. Thank you, Mark. And it's yours at 60,000. I have nothing against that. At £60,000. You're one. 65. Ladies' bid. No, 65 in the room then. at £65,000. Against you, Mark, on the phone. Ladies' bid at £65,000. I see you, George. 70,000. 75. New place. Are you saying 80? 75 is nearer me. Still against you, George. 80? 80 is further back. 85. 90 with George. Sorry, sir. 95, do you want to say? 95 is further back with the lady. 100. No, thank you very much, though. With George at 100,000. Do you want to say 105? 105. 110. No, thank you very much, though. 110,000 with George. At £110,000, George's telephone bidder. Any more? 110. Thank you, George. L0010. Lot 39. The last of the Vouillard. And I can start this now at 75, 80, 85. I have with me at £85,000. The bid is up front with me at 85, 90,000, 95. I go 95. At 95, 100,000. Ladies' bid. I'm out now. That's yours. At £100,000. At £100,000. Mark's phone is trying to bid, but it's not Mark. At £100,000. It's with you, madam. At £100,000. Anywhere else? At £100,000. It's yours, madam. 100,000, 110. 120. 130. 140. 150. 160. No. Yep, you're out. 160. With the lady on my right. Not yours, George. Anywhere else then. At £160,000. Am I giving you time? 170. No, for sure? Thank you very much, though. With George, then, at 170. At £170,000, the hammer's up. At 170. Thank you, George. L0010. As before, thank you, George. And, ladies and gentlemen, the last lot of this evening's sale of Sir Joseph Hotung's collection, the six-poster bed in Huanghua. And I have bids on this. I can start it at 250, 260, 280, 300,000. Here with me at £300,000. The bid is up front at 300,000. Anyone take it further then? At 300,000, 320, 350. At 350. Still here at 350. At 350, 380 with George. I'm out now. That's yours at 380. You bidding, Henry? No, 380. It's 380,000. George's bidder. Sanshbawa at £380,000. Where's Cherry? At £380,000. She's moved. At £380,000, it's George's then. At £380,000. George, that's yours, L0010. Thank you very much. And thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this evening. The Old Master Paintings evening sale will take place at 6 o'clock this evening, so just in under 15 minutes. Give us a little time to change everything around, and we look forward to seeing you there with Harry Dalmeny, my fabulous colleague. Thank you. Hello, hello. Are we happy with that?
To see a painting by Titian is a rare occurrence, and then to see a painting by Titian which seems to be one of the great images of his whole output is an even rarer thing.
Thank you for joining me. We're here to talk about the wonderful painting by Titian, the Venus and Adonis, which is the highlight of the December sale of Old Masters. Titian is one of the greatest of all painters. I feel he still has a huge relevance in contemporary world.
Titian in particular has such an enduring legacy because he's able to evoke all these themes: love, desire, death, tragedy, the loved, the beloved. They're all contemporary feelings. That's an extraordinary thing, and I think that's why it's so fresh and feels so contemporary, because we can relate as a viewer to those themes.
He worked on this theme at several different moments in his career. The other versions are in some of the most significant museums in the world, and then we have this version. And this is the only version which includes all the different aspects of the narrative.
One of the striking things about this painting is the colour. The palette is extraordinary. Titian feels, for me, as vibrant and as contemporary now as many contemporary painters, and I think that's a lot to do with technique. It's that quickness of brushmark, that vitality, that looseness that he's able to produce, which I imagine was quite radical at the time of painting.
What I like particularly about this picture is the movement. You understand the tension through the shape of the bodies and their relationship to each other. This eternal theme of love and separation is cemented in this twisted movement that runs through her back and then in Adonis's outstretched arm.
It's an amazing painting in its compositional construct, and its grand scale provides this intimacy because it envelops us as the viewer, I think. And
it draws you in,
yeah.
Doesn't it? There's no escaping the action, the feeling, the passion, and the imminent sadness.
And I think that's what's so genius about Titian, and how and why he's been such an influence on so many artists. Jenny Savile in particular, often thought of as the sort of heir to Lucian Freud, but really it all harks back to Titian, how radical he was as a painter. When you look at Savile's work and the expressiveness and the vitality in her brush making, it's this confidence of approach. Jenny's paintings are of monumental scale, but like this painting, scale can really hold an intimacy for the viewer because it envelops you.
Happy coincidence that as we speak, there is a major retrospective of Freud's work here in London at the National Gallery.
It's of no coincidence. The revered, the Old Masters, and Titian in particular, in such high regard. He talked about Titian's ability to paint multiple people and in a way that hadn't really been done before. And I think that's what you see in this Venus and Adonis. It's full of life, both in terms of colour, but also in terms of the expressive nature in the way he paints and how he handles painting. I think for Freud it was a great sort of lesson for him, and indeed other artists. As you say, this is an unbelievable painting, and I think one of the great privileges we have, working for Sotheby's, is we're afforded the opportunity to see unbelievable masterpieces. You're really seeing an artist and an artwork that really stands as the cornerstone for what is to become in the next 500 years.
It's a rare treat to get a version of Titian's bestseller to come to auction in this condition, and I hope you'll all be able to join us the first week of December when the painting is on view in our London galleries. Tom, thank you so much, that was fascinating.
It's a fantastic collection, which we've entitled Pursuit of Refinement, because all of these works, which on the face of it might seem rather different, are unified by an amazing attention to detail. We're very excited to be selling a group of paintings from a collection formed by a Spanish collector, Juan Manuel Grasset, bought from the 1970s right through to the early 2000s. It's a very fine group of Dutch and Flemish still life paintings. Complementing that, a group of landscape paintings and an absolutely fantastic painting by Canaletto. This is a banquet painted in Haarlem around 1614 by an artist called Floris van Dijk. It's a seminal work in the development of still life painting in Haarlem. And in it you see a wide variety of objects. You have everyday things like the cheese in the middle of the composition, beautifully painted, and then a series of much more exotic objects, in particular these wonderful Wan Li porcelain vessels from China. It's a tour de force painting, and it displays the extraordinary skill of an artist who's able to portray all these different things with such incredible realism. I love this wonderfully quirky picture by Peter Benoit, who's a German artist and working mostly in Frankfurt and Hanau. What marks it out for me as being particularly special is this wonderful citron that you have in the middle of the composition with its rough skin beautifully captured by the artist. And then the live birds, as what seems to be a sparrow on the upper left, and this fantastic quail incongruously standing right in the middle of the composition looking out at us. We now move on to Antwerp, where this beautiful still life of plums, peaches on a pewter plate was painted in around 1625 by Jacob van Hulsdonk. I really love the stark simplicity of this picture. It's a painting which is unusually on copper, a very fine surface, which allows the artist to achieve an incredible level of finish. And you see that in the bloom that he gets on the surface of the plums, the light on the cherries, and in particular these extraordinarily realistic water droplets that you see on the leaves and the ledge in front of you. Staying in Antwerp, here is one of the most magnificent pictures in the collection, this extraordinary still life by Osias Beert the Elder. Now here you have a painting which is really 4 still lives in one. It's not only the largest painting by Beert we know, but it really is one of the most important early still lifes that's ever come down to us. And of course, as with so many still life paintings, there is another message here, because the transience of life is something that all still life painters really alluded to in their works. And you see that here in the fallen petals on the ledge and in the wormholes in the leaves. We're going to move forward in time to one of the latest still lifes in the collection, and perhaps the finest, by the great artist Jan Davidsz de Heem. In this small picture, we see a white rose flanked by 2 pink roses, a variegated tulip above, and then some fantastic incidental details, little insects and some snails. One of the most wonderful things I find about this picture is the way the artist has painted the vase, because not only do you see the stalks of various flowers beautifully portrayed within the water, but the reflections of light from outside too. It's a Baroque masterpiece in miniature, and it's the jewel in the crown of this absolutely remarkable collection. This is a collection formed over 40 years by a remarkable collector, and December in London is the last chance you'll have to see it all together in one place. Do come and look.
I want people to be able to see how a perfumer works. That was very important for me in creating Perfumer 8. I create poetic landscapes. I call it olfactory poetic landscapes. In my process, you have the ability to put all these different olfactory pieces that you have in your memory into something that smells amazing. My name is Lynn Harris, and I'm a perfumer, and I'm the founder of Perfumer Age. What I do is an art form. I'm so excited to have been invited to translate my olfactory vision of the Grasset collection for Sotheby's. I came and selected 3 paintings. So I have created 3 pieces, 3 pictures. The first is called Lemon and Bird. The second is called Insect and Rose. And the third is Smoke in the Woods. I'm really proud to have created these pieces. I mean, I draw so many parallels with how I personally create fragrances with still life painting. There's a structure, there's a framework to perfumery, but there's also something you can't describe, and that's just something within you. And I think this is what I see with these various painters. I find it so incredible, this period, the light and dark. It's these gentle nuances that I put into my work, which I can see in the paintings. And then there's these quirks, like the fact there's a bird with fruit. And I find there's sort of an absurdity of seeing that, but then there's a beauty. And I think it's capturing aspects of nature with such beauty, but also with such reality. And that's how I can have all these different ideas in a composition, and it's how they marry and intertwine and work to make a beautiful smell. My grandparents, they lived in the countryside in Scotland, and my grandmother cooked from morning till dusk. You know, she was baking, making bread, making jams with the berries from the garden. It was just a very beautiful surrounding and way of life. And my grandfather was a carpenter, so it was just not a minute went by that I wasn't smelling something beautiful and real and so close to nature. And this really resonated with me throughout my life. When I left school, I turned around to my parents. I want to go to France, and I want to be a perfumer. I can see in the paintings with the artists the precision in how they select each subject, and that's exactly what I do. And I can't stress that enough, how important for my process in getting the right materials to work together in harmony to create this amazing olfactory portrait.
To see a painting by Titian is a rare occurrence, and then to see a painting by Titian which seems to be one of the great images of his whole output is an even rarer thing.
Thank you for joining me. We're here to talk about the wonderful painting by Titian, the Venus and Adonis, which is the highlight of the December sale of Old Masters. Titian is one of the greatest of all painters. I feel he still has a huge relevance in the contemporary world.
Titian in particular has such an enduring legacy because he's able to evoke all these themes: love, desire, death, tragedy, the loved, the beloved. They're all contemporary feelings. That's an extraordinary thing, and I think that's why it's so fresh and feels so contemporary, because we can relate as a viewer to those themes.
He worked on this theme at several different moments in his career. The other versions are in some of the most significant museums in the world, and then we have this version. And this is the only version which includes all the different aspects of the narrative.
One of the striking things about this painting is the colour. The palette is extraordinary. Titian feels, for me, as vibrant and as contemporary now as many contemporary painters, and I think that's a lot to do with technique. It's that quickness of brushmark, that vitality, that looseness that he's able to produce, which I imagine was quite radical at the time of painting.
What I like particularly about this picture is the movement. You understand the tension through the shape of the bodies and their relationship to each other. This eternal theme of love and separation is cemented in this twisted movement that runs through her back and then in Adonis's outstretched arm.
It's an amazing painting in its compositional construct, and its grand scale provides this intimacy because it envelops us as the viewer, I think. And
it draws you in, doesn't it? There's no escaping the action, the feeling, the passion, and the imminent sadness.
And I think that's what's so genius about Titian, and how and why he's been such an influence on so many artists. Jenny Savile in particular, often thought of as the sort of heir to Lucian Freud, but really it all harks back to Titian, how radical he was as a painter. When you look at Savile's work and the expressiveness and the vitality in her brush making, it's this confidence of approach. Jenny's paintings are of monumental scale, but like this painting, scale can really hold an intimacy for the viewer because it envelops you.
Happy coincidence that as we speak there is a major retrospective of Freud's work here in London at the National Gallery.
It's of no coincidence the revered, the old masters, and Titian in particular, in such high regard. He talked about Titian's ability to paint multiple people in a way that hadn't really been done before. And I think that's what you see in this Venus and Adonis. It's full of life, both in terms of colour, but also in terms of the expressive nature in the way he paints and how he handles painting. I think for Freud it was a great sort of lesson for him, and indeed other artists. As you say, this is an unbelievable painting, and I think one of the great privileges we have, working for Sotheby's, is we're afforded the opportunity to see unbelievable masterpieces. You're really seeing an artist and an artwork that really stands to the cornerstone for what is to become in the next 500 years.
It's a rare treat to get a version of Titian's bestseller to come to auction in this condition, and I hope you'll all be able to join us the first week of December when the painting is on view in our London galleries. Tom, thank you so much, that was fascinating.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sotheby's in London. Nice to see you all. For those who've stayed from the Hotung sale, welcome back. For those new this evening, it's our second sale today, and we're really excited about this evening's sale of old master paintings. Before I start the sale, I'd just like to make the auctioneer's announcement, which many of you know. The auctioneer may open the bidding on any lot by placing a bid on behalf of the seller. The auctioneer may further bid on behalf of the seller up to the amount of the reserve by placing responsive or consecutive bids for a lot. For those who are intending to bid, please refer to the online sale catalogue for further information on lots with guarantees and irrevocable bids. Lots with guarantees and irrevocable bids are identified with the relevant symbol on the lot page on our website. Buyer's premium and overhead premium will be added to the hammer price of each lot offered, along with any applicable VAT. or amount in lieu of VAT, as well as any applicable artist resale right royalty as part of the total purchase price payable. Please refer to our conditions of business for our full terms of sale, and I believe from this sale lots 2 and 27 have been withdrawn. So welcome to Sotheby's for our Old Masters sale, and we're going to start the bidding on this evening's first lot, the Bolognese School 13th century crucifixion. And I have the bidding here, and I start it at £800,000, at 800,000, £800,000, at 800,000, at 850, 850, 900 with George, and 50, 950, 1 million, 1 million 1, 1 million 2 is bid, 1 million 3 is bid. On the telephone, but without a telephone, is George Wachter from New York, and at 1.3 million, he is the bidder in pole position at 1.3 million. Any advance on 1.3 million? 1 million 4, now with Eduardo. 1 million 4, against you, George, are you bidding? No more. 1 million 4. It's Eduardo's bid. On my right now, at £1,400,000. Any advance then on 1,400,000? I'm selling then, first lot here, at 1 million 4. Selling on my right, with Eduardo's bidder at £1,400,000. Fair warning. That's sold to paddle L0016. And we move on as lot number 2 is withdrawn to lot number 3, which is the Pier Francesco di Jacopo Foschi, and we have interest starting here already at 80,000, at 80,000 pounds, 80, 85,000, 85,000 is bid, at 85,000, 90,000, 90's bid, 90,000, at 90,000, any more at 90, do I have 95? 95, 100,000, 100,000 is bid, at 100,000, next bid's 110, at 100,000 pounds. At 110 is bid. Ladies bid at 110,000. Thank you, madam. 120,000 on my commission. Against you at 120,000. Commission bid. Next bid is 130. 130's bid. 140 now. Against you at 140,000. One more, madam. 140,000 it is against you. Next bid is 150. 150's bid. 160 now in a new place. 2 bidders in the room. It's your bid, sir, at 160. Madam, it's against you at 160. 170's bid. Against you, sir. 180,000. 180's bid. It's in the room. Here on my right, 190,000. 190,000. Now against you, sir. 200 is bid. 200,000. At 200,000. May I say 220, madam? I have 200,000 against you. 220 is bid. Next bid's 240. Thank you so much. 220 is with it at 220,000. Now in the room at 220,000. Next bid is 240,000. Do I have 200? Bidding 240. Alina's bid now. With Alina at 240,000. Against you now, madam. Should we go 260? No more? All right, 240 it is then. Here on my left with Alina's bid at £240,000. At 240. £240,000. Any advance on 240? At 240,000. Selling then, here on the telephone, against you, madam, and against you, sir, at 240,000. Are you? Oh, now we have one of those interesting telephonic lack of communications. Georgie is back on her phone. The bidding is against you, and it's standing with Alina at 240,000. Thank you so much, Georgie. You had all our hearts going up. At 240,000, the hammer is going down. Paddle L0014. Thank you. Now, lot number 4 is the Marco d'Orgiona, the Virgin and Child with the infant St. John. It's showing behind it, in fact, on the wall with the telephones. And we start the bidding here at £500,000. At 500,000. £500,000 is bid. At 500,000. At £500,000. 550,000. Now at 550,000. Next bid is 600,000. 550,000 I've got. At £550,000. Any more? At 550,000. At 550. Next bid is 600,000. Here at 550. 550, 600,000. At 600,000. 600,000 is bid. 600,000. 650,000. Now it's £650,000. The next bid is 700. £650,000. Any advance then? On 650? Alina is here, and so am I, and neither of us are going anywhere. At 650,000. 650. It's against you. at £650,000. Any more then? 650? Bidding? No bidding. Thank you so much. One of two options, my least favourite, but never mind. 650,000. Next bid is 700,000. All done then at £650,000. Fair warning for 650. Passed at 650. Lot number 5, the Luis de Morales. Here it is, Ecce Homo. And we have interest here at £70,000. At 70,000. £70,000 is bid. 75,000. Now at 75,000. Next bid's 80. 75,000. 80. 80 we have. 85,000. Now at 85,000 pounds. 85,000 pounds. Any advance on 85,000? 90,000 with Greg. Greg's bid now at 90. That clears my commissions. At 90,000, I'm selling on Greg's telephone for 90,000 pounds. Any more then? At 90,000. All done at 90,000 pounds and selling with Greg Rubenstein here on my left at 90,000. Sold. L0013. Thank you, Greg. Lot number 6. We now come to the outstanding Titian of Venus and Adonis, showing in our entrance gallery. It greeted you along with a glass of champagne as you arrived. If you're here in person, for those online, you'll see this work on our website. And we start the bidding here at £6 million. At £6 million. At £6 million. £6,200,000. £6,200,000. £6,400,000 now. £6,400,000. £6,400,000. £6,600,000. £6,600,000 now. Next bid is £6,800,000. £6,800,000. At £6,800,000. Next bid is £7 million. At £6,800,000. £7 million. £7 million I have. £7 million. £7,200,000. £7,200,000. That's £7,200,000. £7,500,000 now. £7,800,000. £8 million. £8 million is bid. Alex Bell's bid of £8 million. At £8 million. At £8 million. Now with Alexander Bell. £8,200,000. Now with George Wafter. Next bid is 8.5, Alex. 8,500,000 is bid. 9 million. Sorry, 8,800,000. 8,800,000 with George. Back on the same track at 8,800,000. Next bid is 9. 9 million is bid. 9 I have now. Alex is bid at 9 million. 9,500,000. Thank you, George. Can I say 10, Alex? No more. 9,800,000 I'll take. 10 million I'd like. Thank you so much. 9,500,000 is the bid. It is with George Wachter on the far end of my right-hand bank of telephones at 9,500,000. I've offered 9,800,000, so that's the next bid, but I sell without at 9,500,000. Do I have 9,800,000? 9,500,000 is the bid. Any advance at 9,500,000 for the Titian. Selling here on the telephone at £9,500,000. Are you all done? Fair warning at £9,500,000. Sold. Your bid, George. Thank you very much. Can I just see your paddle? It's number L0023. Thank you so much. Lot 7 is the Angelo Caroselli, the musician holding the trumpet. Here it is. And the bidding starts at 40,000. £40,000. At £40,000. 40,000. Next bid's 42. £40,000 I have. At £40,000. 42,000. At 42,000. 42's bid. Next bid's 45. 42 I have. 45,000. 48,000. 48,000's bid. At 48 now. At £48,000. 50,000. Now at 50. £50,000. Any more at 50. At £50,000. Are you all done then at 50,000? Next bid's 55. 50,000 is with me. 55 online. Online now at 55,000. Next bid is 60. 55 I have. It's online and selling at 55,000. Not here in the room. I'm selling online on Sotheby's internet system at £55,000. Anybody else? At 55,000. Fair warning. 55,000. It's sold to paddle number 17 online. Thank you so much. And we move now on to lot number 8. This is the Elizabeth Serrani, the St. John the Baptist, and is being brought out to you now. Elizabeth Serrani's John the Baptist, and we start the bidding here at £60,000. At 60,000, 60,000. 70, 75, 80, 85, 90 if you like. 95 with Christopher Apostle. 95 is the bid on the telephone. Sir, you've been outbid. Can I say 100? Sure. 100 is bid elsewhere. 100,000 in the room. Against you, Chris, no more. 100 is yours, sir. 110 is the next bid. It's selling in the room. Against these telephones for 100,000, 110 with Greg. Sir, it's against you. Can I say 120? 120's bid. Not yours, Greg, now. It's 120 in this room. 120,000, 130,000. Thank you so much, sir. 130,000 is the bid. It's on Greg's telephone and against the room at £130,000. Fair warning, selling here, still against you, sir, and you at 130,000. L0027. Thank you so much. Lot number 9. This is the Verbeek family group, the wedding party with a mock joust. And it's been carefully brought in. Brings back memories of my own wedding. Only the happiest. And we start the bidding here at 50,000, 50,000 pounds, at 50, 50,000 pounds, 50,000, 55,000, 60, 60,000, 60,000 pounds at 60,000. Next bid 65. 60,000 I have at 60,000 pounds. Any advance on 60,000 pounds? 60,000 pounds we have. 65,000. Thank you. Christopher's bid at 65,000 pounds. 70,000 against you. 75,000. Back with Chris Apostle at 75,000 pounds. 80,000. 80's bid. 85,000. 90,000. 95,000. 100,000. Back with Chris at 100,000. Next bid is 110. 100,000 I have for the wedding group with added joust at 100,000. Any more then? At 100, 110,000. 110,000 is bid. Bauke's bid at 110. It's against you, Chris. Shall we say 120? 110,000 is bid. 120,000 now. At 120,000. 130,000. Thank you, Bauke. 130,000. No more from Chris Apostle, and I'm selling then on Bauke's telephone at 130,000 against this room for 130,000. Any advance? Are you all done then at 130,000? 130, that is paddle number L0010. Thank you. Moving on now to lot number 10. This is the Peter Bruegel the Younger, the peasant lawyer, shown here from the... and we start the bidding here at £160,000. 160,000. 160,000 only. At 160, 170, 170's bid, 180, 180,000, 190,000, 200,000. 200,000 is bid. At 200,000. Any advance on 200,000? 200, 210 then. 210,000 is bid. At 210,000. At 210,000. Fair warning then, selling at £210,000, you all done elsewhere. For 210,000, I will sell for 210. Next bid's 220, but 210 is mine. Here on commission at 210,000. Fair warning, bidding. Certainly is the last chance. The wedding is over at 210,000. Thank you very much. 210,000. Paddle number 3. Now we move on to lot number 11, Jan van Goyen, the village fair here, and the bidding starts at 80,000. 80,000 pounds. At 80,000. 80,000 pounds is bid. 85,000. Now at 85,000 pounds. 85,000. 85 is bid. 90,000. Now at 90,000. 95,000. 95 I have. At 95,000. 100,000, sir? 100,000. At 100,000. At 100,000. 100,000 I bid. 110,000. Now at 110,000 pounds. Next bid's 120. Fair warning then, at 110,000 against this room for £110,000. All done. Passed at 110. Thank you very much. Lot number 12, we bring on the Solomon van Ruysdael, the view on the River Vecht. And this is property restituted to the heirs of Jacques Goudsdicker from that collection. And we start the bidding on this at £100,000. 100,000. 100,000 pounds. 100,000. 110,000. 110,000. 110 is bid. 120,000. 120,000 pounds. Next bid is 130. At 120,000. 130,000. 130,000. 140,000. 140,000. Next bid is 150. At 140,000 pounds. Any advance on this? At 140,000. 150,000. In the room at 150. At 150,000. Any more? At 150,000, and I'm selling against the phones and the internet here in the room for 150,000. 150. It's yours, sir. Paddle 734. Thank you very much. Lot number 13. The Eglon Hendrik van der Neer, the lady at her toilet. And interest starts here at £60,000. Commission bids at 60,000, 65,000, 65,000 bid. 65, 70,000. Now it's 70,000. At 70,000. At £70,000. Any advance on 70. Next bid is 75. 80,000. 80,000 I have. 80,000. Now against you. At £80,000. Next bid is 85. Here at £80,000. At £80,000. Any advance there? Are you all done? At £80,000. Fair warning for £80,000. 80,000 passed. Now we come to the first of the works from the extraordinary Grassi collection, which we're honoured to offer. We start with the young Davidsz Heem, one of many of these wonderful still lives, and we start the bidding here at £800,000. At 800,000. At 800,000. At 800,000. 820,000. 850,000. 850,000. 880,000. 880,000. Next bid, 900,000. 900 is bid. 950,000. At 950,000. £1 million. Alex Bell, 1,000,001. George Wachter, 1,000,002. We have 1,000,002 against 1,000,003. George is bid at 1,000,003. At 1,300,000. 1,000,003. It's against you, Teresa, at 1,000,003. 1,000,004 is bid. 1,000,005. 1,000,006. I'll take in the room. Gentleman paid his taxi. So 1,006,000 is your bid. 1,007,000 against you. 1,007,000. It's against Teresa. It's against you in the room. 1,007,000. It's George's bid. 1,008,000 now. 175,000. Why not? 1,750,000. George, it's against you. 1,009,000. 1,009,000. 1,009,000. Still against you, sir. 2 billion. 50? I have it elsewhere. 1,950,000 against you, George. 2 million. £2 million is bid, madam. Can I say 2,000,001? £2,000,001, thank you. 2,100,000. 2,000,002. 2,200,000 on my right. 2,200,000. Next bid is 2,000,003. Thank you very much, madam. 2,000,002 then, still with George Wachter. It's against the bidders in the room and the other telephones. At 2,000,002, Teresa, you're out. At 2,000,002, I'm selling then on my right with George. Fair warning. Last chance at 2,000,002. George, it's yours. L0023 is the paddle. Thank you very much. Now, lot number 15 is shown here behind us on my right. It's the Floris Claes van Dyck, the Uitgestelde, and we start the bidding here. And we start the bidding here at 450,000. At 450,000. 450,000. 480,000. At £480,000. At 480,000. Next bid is 500,000. 500 is bid. George's bid is £500,000. Now on the telephone here at 500,000. 500,000 is bid. It's with George Wachter. Can I say 550? 550 with David Pollock. 600 with George. It's America all the way. 600,000 now. 650,000 is bid. Is bid by David. 650, 700 now with Christopher Mason. Sorry, George, you've been taken off bid at 700,000. It's Christopher Mason on my left here, against both of you. I have now £800,000. David's jumping at 800,000, 850 with Chris, 900 with George. We have three bidders in action, recipe for disaster. 950,000, 1 million with George. Can I say 1,000,001? 1,050,000. I quite understand what you want, and I give it to you easily. I have 1,050,000, I have 1,001,000, I have 1,002,000. This is going to go wrong at 1,002,000. It's still against you, 1,003,000. It's still against you, Chris. It's 1,003,000 with David Pollock, 1,003,000. George, are you out or are you in? You're in at 1,004,000. 1,004,000, David, against you. 1,004,000. I'll take 1,005,000. Would you like to offer me 1,450,000 just to really make it difficult? 1,005,000 is the next bid. I have 1,004,000. No more from Chris. I have 1,004,000. It is with George Wachter. David, it's against you at £1,400,000. 1,004,000. I'm slowing right down. At 1,005,000, I'm speeding back up at 1,005,000. It's with David. George against you, 1,006,000. 1,600,000. 1,006,000. Now against David, 1,006,000 is the bid. At 1,006,000. Next bid is 1,007,000. I have 1,006,000 on George Wachter's phone. 1,006,000. Any more? Nope. That looks like he's gone down for the third time. He's down. At 1 million, he's not. He's getting onto another telephone. That one's run out of battery. 1,006,000. It's 1,006,000. 1,650,000. George. 1,007,000. No more from David. Thank you so much. 1,007,000 is the bid. Now, in the room, you have your chance. At 1,007,000, I sell on my right, on the telephone, against Christopher and the other bidders on the left, and against you here at 1,700,000. Sold. Paddle number, I imagine, 23? L0023. Thank you very much. Lot 16 now, the Peter Benoit. The still life of the citron, grapes, etc. And the bidding starts here at 30,000, 32,000. 32,000 is bid at 32,000. 32,000, 35,000, 38,000, 40,000. 40 is the bid at £40,000. Do I have 42,000? At £40,000 now. At 40,000. Selling for 40. At £40,000. Fair warning, all done at 40,000 and sold. That is to paddle number 16. And we move on to lot 17, the Balthazar van der Ast. Shown here, the parrot, the lizard, the insects, and all. And we start the bidding here at £150,000. 150,000 at £150,000. Sorry, £100,000 at £100,000. £100,000 I started at 100,000. £100,000. Do I have 110? £100,000. 110 I do have. 110,000. Next bid is 120. 110,000 is mine. 120,000. 120,000 at 120,000. At 120. Do I have 130? 120,000 I have. At £120,000. Any advance here? At 120,000. At 120,000. I'll take 130. 120,000 is with me at 120,000 and against you at 120,000. Any advance then? On 120, 130,000. 130,000. 130,000. 140,000. 150,000. 160,000, 170,000, 180,000, 180,000 pounds. Any more then? At 180,000, all done. Fair warning, last chance. At 180,000, passed, 180. Lot 18 then. Lot 18 is the Isaiah Spiet the Elder, the roses in the Oriental lacquer and canework bowl. And we have interest starting at 150,000, 150,000, 160,000, 160, 170, 180, 180,000, 190, 200,000, 220, 240, 240,000, still on my commission, at £240,000. 260,000, thank you, 280 against you, madam. Can I say 300? 300,000, 320,000, 320 with me. 320. Next bid is 340. 340's bid. 360, madam, against you still. Still the commission bidder, I'm afraid. £360,000. 360. 380. 400. Against you now at 400. Thank you so much, madam. £400,000. My bid. Next bid's 420. At £400,000. At 400,000. Any more then? At 400,000, I sell for 20, 450. I'll come back, Julian. It's against you in the room. I have 450. It's on my commission against you both. 480, would you like? Or would you like me to offer it to Julian? Julian. Could be yours if you like, but it's 450 with me. Against you now at 450,000. Sure? My bid then at 450, against you at 450. Would you like to bid 480 because I'm selling otherwise? I'll wait. 450,000. Commission bid on the book. Gets the other telephones. 450. 460? I just did. I'll take 470. Goose meet gander. 470. $480 online, just to add a little bit of sauce. Against you now, Jules. Against you also, sir. Bid is 480, it's online. Next bid's 490. Julian is out. 480,000, it's bid online. It's against you in the room. Next bid's 490. Do we have it? At 480,000. 490. 490,000. It's against you now online. Next bid's 500, after which I will try and resume normal service with somewhat more suitable increments. But you never know, and to get there we have to get you, sir, or madam, to bid 500,000, because I have 490. It's bid by a gentleman in the room at Sotheby's here in London. So the next bid has to be 500,000. I sell it otherwise. The hammer is up and I'm selling it now in this room against you online. Fair warning, for £490,000. Last chance then, at £490,000, are you all done for 490? Woohoo! Who thought Lazarus was a gander? 500,000 it is. 520, 20. Sure? You're sure? 510, why not? I'm enjoying this lot. Have those Grasset's got any more paintings? 510,000. Can we say 520? I have 510. The bid is here in the room. It's against you, Julian. You said no before. You never meant it. 510 it is, and he's out again, and I sell on the phone to the gentleman in the room for £510,000. Can we see? The paddle is 745. Thank you very much. I've never seen a man with 4 bidding assistants. Well, actually. Moving on now to number 19, the Jacob van Hulstonk, and it's shown here, and we offer it at 80,000. 80's bid, 85, 85 now. Next bid is 90, 85,000 I have at 85,000. Do I have 90? 90,000, 95, 95, 100,000, 100,000, 110, 110, 120 is next. 110 I have at 110,000. Bidding? 120. Eduardo's bid at 120. At 120,000 now. For 120,000. 130,000. In the room. At 130. 140. 150. At 150,000. 160,000. 160 on the telephone, 170 off the telephone, in the room, at 170,000. 180,000, I'm so sorry, Bauki. I was concentrating in the wrong quadrant. 180,000 on my left, still against you in the room. 190, I'll come back to you, Eduardo, I won't leave you out. 190, though, is the bid in the room. It's against you now, Bauki, it's against you already. 200,000, Alex Bell comes in at 200,000. Can we say 220? 200,000, 220's bid. Against you both now. Also against you, Bauki, at £220,000. Next bid is 240. Alex is out. Eduardo? No more? And Bauki. And lady in the room at 230? 230,000, thank you. Next bid then would be 240. 230 I have. Here in the room. 230,000. Bidder in the room against you. 240's next. I'll take it from Alex. 240,000, madam. 250. 250's bid. At 250,000. Alex. No more. At 250 then, your bid, madam. But hold, don't wrap it. 250,000. We might have 260. No? No more. At £250,000 and selling against the bidders on the telephone and in the room to you, madam, at £250,000. Sold. Thank you so much. Paddle 731. Thank you for your bidding. Now, lot number 20. It's on my right. It is, of course, on my right, the far end of the telephone bidders behind George Wachter. The Esaias Beert the Elder, the Tulips and the Apothecary's Rose. And the bidding starts here at £300,000. At £300,000. At 300,000, 320,000. At 320,000. 320,000. Next bid's 350. 350's bid. 380 against you. 400's bid. 400 now on my right. It's on the telephone with George. He is standing in front of it and trying to buy it at £400,000. Do you have 420 against him? We do. Bauki does. 420's bid. Against George, 450's bid. Now yours on my right, 450. Next bid's 480. 480's bid. 500's bid. On my right at 500,000. Can I tempt you to 550, Bauki? 550's bid. George, it's against you. 600,000's bid. Now at 600,000. Here on my right. 650. 700,000. 700 is bid. 720 if you like. $700 against you. Sure. Thank you so much. It's on my right with George Wachter and against the room at £700,000. All done. Final time. Paddles. L0023. Thank you. Lot number 21 is the Barent Averkamp, the skaters, golf players, etc. And the bidding starts at 200,000. At £200,000. At 200,000, 220, 240 against you, Calvin, 260. Calvin's bid now at 260,000. Next bid is 280. 260's bid. It's here on my right at £260,000. Any advance? On 280 now with Christopher. No more. Thank you, Calvin. 280 rather, is bid here on the left at 280,000. Next bid is 300,000. Selling then for 280, 300. Julian's bid at 300,000. Now at 300,000. Next bid is 320. 300 I have. At 300,000. Calvin, I imagine you're still out, although stranger things have happened tonight. £300,000 it is. No more from Christopher. And I'm selling to Julian's telephone for £300,000. All done. L0009. Thank you. And lot number 22 is another Baron Avercamp. And we start the bidding here at £30,000 for this one. 30,000. £30,000 is bid. At 30,000. £30,000. 32,000. 32,000 is bid. At 32. 35. 35 now. 38,000. Now at 38,000. Any advance on 38? 38,000. £38,000. All done. At £38,000. Fair warning. I'm selling, no, 40,000. Now I'm selling to somebody completely different at £40,000. David Pollock's bid at 40, which clears my commissions. And now I'm selling on the telephone at £40,000. Fair warning. Paddle L0002. Thank you. Lot 23 is the Abraham Govertz, the wooded river landscape with the travellers, peasants on a path, men in a boat, and a village beyond. And the bidding starts here at 30,000. £30,000 at 30. 30,000, 32,000, 35,000, 38,000. 38,000 is my bid. 40,000, 42,000. 42 with me at 42. 45, 48. I'm out at 48. Would you like to bid 50? Gentleman in the room at 50. Teresa, I'm sorry. I have this gentleman in the front row would like to bid, and they are in my sight line. And it's at 50,000 against you. 50,000. 55? 52? 52? 53? I'll take 52. Let's not confuse matters. So, 55, thank you. 55 is bid against you. Next bid's 58. 55 is bid here. 55,000 I'm selling. It's in the room. Against you. Selling. Was that a bid? It was a bid. I'm sorry, sir. I hear you and I see you and I take your bid at 58. Sir, 60, thank you. 60,000. 65, can I say? 65,000. Can we go 70? 70,000. 70's bid, 75,000. Thank you so much, sir. Your bid now in the back row at 70,000. At 70,000. Its bid is 75. 70,000 I have. At £70,000. Right in the back row, 70,000 against you, sir. Fair warning and selling. Is it still, I've given you lots of time, but you haven't come up with a bid, have you? This will be reported to HR. £70,000 then. Right at the back of the room, £70,000, and I sell to you, sir. Fair warning, all done at £70,000. Thank you, sir. It's yours. Can I see your paddle, if you have one? Heart-stopping moment for both of us. Just borrow one off somebody who looks rich. We're having security. Could somebody help this gentleman out with a paddle, any old paddle? Maybe we can get someone to him if he doesn't have one. I think we can move on, can't we? Because we've got cameras on the doors. So, moving on to lot 24, the Jan Bruegel the Elder, the wooded river landscape with the fish market and fishing boats near the sea, near the village. Here it is. And we start the bidding here at £500,000. At 500,000. 520. 550. 550. 550,000. Do I have 600,000? 600? 6? 600. Thank you, Ben. I have 650 against you, though. I have 650 against you. Bid now at 650. 650,000. Commission bid. 680 I'll take. At 680,000 pounds. At 680. Next bid is 700. 700's bid. Chris's bid at 700. Against you, Ben? 720. Let's split. I was going to ask for 750, and you've offered me 710. Can we split it to 720? Yes? Is that good? I'm regretting not taking it now. I can take 710. If it, you know, we're all friends. Well, except for you. 710, thank you, Christopher. 720 if you like. This is a process of establishing value. It's very important. If we didn't do this, ArtNet wouldn't exist. 710,000 against you, Chris. 720? 720, thank you. Against you now, Ben, at 720. No more. At 720 then, the bid is with Christopher Apostle, and I'm selling it, all done elsewhere in the room, at £720,000. No warning. Paddle number would be 17, number 17, thank you. Now, lot number 25, the Peter Benoit from the Grassi collection, the lemons and the pomegranates, and we start the bidding here at 30,000. At 30,000. At 30,000. 30,000, 32,000, 32,000, 35,000, 35,000's bid. Next bid's 38, at £35,000. Any advance on 35,000? Bidding? 38,000. In the room here at 38,000. Thank you, sir. At 38,000 and selling. Fair warning, and selling at 38,000 on my right. Are you all done elsewhere? At 38,000. Your sir, paddle 720. Thank you so much. Lot 26. Here is the Jacob van Hulsdonk, the still life of the bunch of grapes and the peeled lemon on the ledge. And it has extensive provenance, fine work. And we start the bidding here. We have a bid in here at £40,000, and that's where I start at 40,000, 40,000, 42,000. Now at 42,000, at 42,000, at 42, 45, 45,000, at 45,000, 48,000's bid. Now at 48, 50,000, at £50,000, at 50,000, 55,000. Next bid is 60. 60's bid. 65,000 against you. 65 is bid. 70,000. Now with Alex Bell at 17, you've cleared my commissions and you're on your own at £70,000. At 70,000. With Alex Bell at 70,000. Any advance on £70,000? 75,000. Ladies bid. Now at 75,000. Against you, Alex. 80,000. Is that a bid? That is a bid? 80,000. Thank you. Well, it was a sort of 80,000. Madam, it's against you now at 80. No more? Thank you so much. 80,000. I'm selling on my right at £80,000. 80,000. Paddle is number L005. Lot 27, the Juan van der Man y Leon is here, coming out to the still life of the basket of fruit. And we start the bidding at 170, 180, 190,000, 200,000. Alex Bell's bid at £200,000. At 200,000. Can I say 220? 200,000 is bid. It's here on the telephone with Alex Bell, without a telephone. Is that an online bid at 220, I see? It is. Alex against you. You're out. 220 is bid. It's online. I'm selling at 220,000. Not yours in the room. At 220,000 and not yours on the telephones. It's selling online at 220,000. Are you all done for 220,000? Paddle 29. Thank you very much. Lot 28 is the Jan van Kessel, shown here. And we start the bidding at 100,000, 110,000. 110,000 is bid. 120 is bid now. Calvin's bid at 120,000. At 120,000. Next bid's 130. At £120,000. 130, Teresa. 130 against you, Calvin. 140. Next bid's 150. Next bid's 160. Next bid's 170. Next bid is 180. And it's bid. 180, 190. Back with Teresa, 190. 200,000. 200,000, 220,000. 220,000. 240,000. Now with Alex. Calvin, it's against you. Teresa, not yours now. At 240,000. No more. Thank you so much, though. 240,000 it is now with Alex. 260. Bauke's in. Against you now, Alex, at 260,000. 280,000. 280. 300,000. 300,000. 320,000. 320,000. May I say 350? I'll say 340. It's almost as easy. 340. 360's next. 350. Here's what I know. 350,000 lucky against you. 360 would you like? Thank you. 360. Alex. 360,000. Thank you so much. We've reached the price at 360. It's still with Bauke. It's not yours, Alex. Not yours, Kelvins. Not yours, Teresa. £360,000, and I'm selling here on the telephone. Final time at 360,000. Thank you, and that is paddle number 10. Lot 29, the Nicholas van Verandeel, coming out here. And the bidding starts here at 60,000, £60,000. At 60, 65,000. Now at 65,000. Any advance on? 70,000. 70's bid. 70,000. 75,000 I have. At 75,000. Next bid's 80. At £75,000. At 75,000. Any more at 75? At 75,000. £75,000. Next bid is 80. At 75,000. Any advance? 80,000. At 80,000 then, it is with David Pollock at 80,000. Next bid is 85, but I'm selling then for £80,000 on my right. Fair warning. At £80,000. All done. At 80,000. Sold. David, paddle number 2. Thank you so much. And now we come on to lot number 30, the Canaletto shown here, right to my right, this wonderful Grand Canal view by Canaletto, and we start the bidding here at £2,200,000. At £2,200,000. At £2,200,000. £2,200,000. £2,300,000. £2,300,000 bid. Next bid is £2,400,000. £2,300,000. £2,400,000. £2,500,000. £2,500,000 is £2,600,000. £2,600,000 now. £2,700,000. £2,700,000 I have. £2,700,000. £2,800,000 now. £2,800,000. £2,900,000. £2,900,000. £2,950,000 with George. Next bid is £3,000,000. On my right then with George Wachter at £2,950,000. Next bid is £3,000,000. At £2,950,000. It's with George Wachter at £2,950,000. Any advance now? At £2,950,000, £3,000,000 online. Online bidder then at £3,000,000. George, against you at £3,000,000. £3,000,000 is bid. At £3,000,000. It's the online bidder. At £3,000,000. Any more then? At £3,000,000. I'll take £3,000,001 if you like. £3,000,000 I have. At £3,000,000. And selling online for £3,000,000. Not yours in the room. Selling online for £3,000,000. Are you all done then? At £3,000,000. Last chance at £3,000,000. Sold at £3,000,000. Lot number 31 is the John Constable study for the White Horse, shown here, and interest starts already at £150,000. At £150,000. At £150,000. £160,000. £160,000. £160's bid. Next bid is £170,000. £160,000 I have. £160,000. £170,000. £170's bid. £180,000 now. £180,000. At £180,000. At £180,000. £190,000. £200,000. £200 is bid. £210,000. £220,000. At 220,000. Any more? At 220,000 pounds. Bidding? 230. Ladies bid at 230. 230,000. Next bid's 240. 230 I have. At 230,000 pounds. Any advance? On 230,000, your bid, madam, and selling, fair warning, all done at 230. Paddle 741, thank you. Lot number 32 is the Joseph Anton Koch, shown here behind Greg and Ben, and the landscape with Apollo among the shepherds, and we start the bidding here at 200,000 pounds. At 200,000, 210,000 is bid, 210,000 now. At 210,000, 220,000. At 220,000 pounds. At 220, next bid is 230. At 220,000. At 220,000. 230's bid, thank you. 230,000. Next bid's 240. Here at 230,000. At 230,000, 240,000. At 240,000. Next bid's 250. At 240,000 pounds. Any advance then for 240,000. Fair warning. Passed at 240. Lot 33 is the Ferdinand Georg Waldmüller, the view of the Ramsau. And the bidding starts here at 80,000 pounds. At 80,000. 80,000 pounds is bid. At 80,000. Next bid's 85. 80,000 pounds I have. At 80, 85,000. Now at 85,000 pounds. 90,000. Claude's bid. Now at 90,000 pounds on my left. Against the room at 90. 95,000. 95's bid. At 95,000. 100,000 with Claude Peening at 100,000 pounds. Selling on my left. It's against you in the room at 100,000 and not yours online. At 100,000 I sell. Fair warning then for 100,000. Paddle L, triple O, 6. Thank you, Claude. Now, lot number 34, we come on to the Lord Leighton, the Frederic Lord Leighton, Old Damascus. It's here in the middle of our telephone desk. Magnificent work by that great Victorian artist, Frederic Lord Leighton, and we start the bidding here at £1,500,000. At £1,500,000. 1,500,000. At £1,500,000. At £1,500,000. Next bid is 1,600,000. 1,500,000 is bid. At 1,500,000. 1,600,000. David Pollock's in at 1,600,000. Next bid is 1,700,000. 1,600,000 on my 1,700,000. 1,700,000 now. 1,800,000. Against you, madam, at 1,800,000. The bid is with David Pollock at 1,800,000. Any advance on 1,800,000. I'm selling on my right for 1,800,000. For 1,800,000. It's with David Pollock here on my right on the telephone at 1,800,000 against you in the room for 1,800,000. Any advance on 1,800,000. Sold for 1,800,000. Paddle L003. End of this room, should you be on the right-hand side, and I do mean right. Wonderful work from a distinguished collection, and we start the bidding here. We start at £240,000. 240. At 240. Next bid's 260. 240 I have. At 240,000. 260,000 online. 280,000 against you. 280's bid. Next bid is 300,000. At 300,000 online now. At 300,000. 300,000 is bid. It's online at 300,000. Any advance? 320? Because 300 is gone. 350 from George. It's against you online. It's against Ben Dollar. It's 350,000. 380? 380 I have from Simon Toll. 400,000 from George Wachter at 400,000. It's still against you online, but don't lose heart. 420,000. Now with Simon Toll. 420, 450. George's bid at 450. 480, I'll take it online. Against you, George? 500,000. 500,000. Can I have 550? 500,000 is bid. It's against you, Simon. At 500, 550 is bid. Against you now, George? Can I say 6? 600,000. Against the online bidder at 600,000. 600,000 is bid. 650 is next. 600,000 I have. It's with George Wachter at £600,000. 650 then, Simon's bid. 700 then, with George at 700,000. 700,000 on my right. 750. 800,000. Now at 800,000. 850,000. 900,000. 900,000 is bid. 950 is next. Shall we? 950 is bid. At 950, 1,050,000. Thank you very much. George has bid 1,050,000, which leaves you the option of bidding 1,001,000. You're out. Thank you, Simon. It was lovely while you were in. 1,050,000 with George. It's still against you online. You were in a bit lower down. Are you still there? We're at £1,050,000. Next bid is 1,000,000. I think we're at 1,000,000. Can the computer reflect the reality? Is that possible? 1,050,000. 1,050,000. Next bid's 1,001,000. 1,050,000 I have. Not yours online. It's not and £50, it's 1,050,000. Somebody was trying to get away with a short one there. It's £1,050,000. It's with George Wachter. It's against Mark Poltimore at 1,050,000. The next bid's 1,001,000. It's not yours online. And Simon, I believe you're still out. 1,050,000. 1,050,000. Next bid's 1,001,000. I'm holding too. So are you holding on? I would come on, George, but then we'd have to come off. 1,050,000. Mark, do you have a sense of when? A date? No. Thank you so much, but thank you. 1,050,000 it is with George Wachter. It is against the other bidders, and I'm selling, fair warning, 1,050,000. Sold. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, George. L0023. Lot 36 is the wonderful Ivan Ivazovsky, the Wrath of the Seas, coming in now to be shown to you. From an important European private collection. Shown here, and we start the bidding at 500,000, 500,000, and 50. 600,000 is bid at £600,000. Any advance on 600? Next bid is 650. 600,000 I have. 650, 700,000. Against you, David, it's 700. 700 is my bid. And 50, 800,000. 800,000 is bid. 850, 900,000. With me at 900,000. 950, 1 million. Now at 1 million. At £1 million. 1,001,000, 1,002,000. 1,002,000 is bid. At 1,002,000. 1,300,000 from David at 1,003,000. 1,400,000 against you. 1,004,000, sure. 1,004,000 it is then. My commission at 1,400,000. David Pollock's out at 1,400,000. Are you all out elsewhere at 1,004,000 for the Ivazovsky? I sell at 1,400,000. Fair warning for 1,004,000. 1,400,000, paddle number 15. Lot 37 has been withdrawn. So we move on now to the last lot of the sale, the Gustav Scheisted, the Ice Lake, which is shown right at the back of the East Gallery, next to the Godward, just to try and keep her, to cool her down. And this great work by the Swedish artist, we are starting the bidding here at £50,000. At £50,000. £50,000 I have. At 50. 55. 60,000 is bid. At £60,000. Now with Christopher Apostle at 60,000. At £60,000. 65,000. 65,000. 70,000. 70,000 is bid. Now at 70,000. Next bid is 75,000. 75,000 is bid. 80,000. On my left with Chris Apostle at 80,000. Any advance on £80,000? The bid is on the telephone here at £80,000. With Chris Apostle at 80,000. Any advance on 80,000? At £80,000. All done for £80,000 and selling. Are you bidding, sir? 85,000. Thank you. 90,000. 90 against you. 95,000. 100,000. 100,000 against you, sir. 110. 120. That was close. 130, sir? 130. 130,000. Against you now, Chris, at 130. 130,000 pounds. Bidder is in the room, but only just, at 130,000. 130,000. 130. Take your breath, sir. We're just waiting for the telephone to come back. But thank you for coming back to us at 130,000. Clutching your Starbucks cop. 130,000. It's against you, Chris, at 130,000 pounds and selling it in the room for 130,000. No more. For 130. Paddle number 747. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention. I wish you all a good night. Don't forget our day sales online. Get bidding. Thank you. Auctions closed.